that are having to do rock paper. Look at Devery's like, are you kidding me? I mean, I've been a part of a miracle, and this is how we're gonna toss the coin.
You know, this could, and it looks like now the Devery Henderson's team, the East team, has won the toss via rock paper scissors.
This has got to be a first. It's got to be a first.
You look on your screen of where it's at, and if I had my telestrator, I could show you. But the technique that Michael Clayton used, I mean, he goes in rock, paper, scissors, and went after it, and Devery was caught off guard.
Well, I mean, he is the guy that tipped the miracle. So, but Michael Clayton played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well as the New York Giants, won a Super Bowl. Devery Henderson, of course, most known for being a Who-Dat, playing for the Saints. And, wow, that's
rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, that'll go down.
Yes, that's ESPN. Where are you at on that? Needless to say, we're moments away, and that West team looks like they're set back and ready to receive this.
I was going to say lost in all of this conversation is who actually won. But it was indeed Michael Clayton and the black team, the black jerseyed black East squad, and they will be the home team. They're on the near sidelines on the far side. Now both East and West fans are sitting on the home side, and that was just easier for concession purposes and for entrance from the parking lot, etc. But the visiting team is on the far sideline, and that is the West All-Star team. They are the visitors tonight.
Rich, JT Turner out of Montgomery, and he's very explosive back deep to receive along with Kobe Tillman. They are joined in the back by number 20 for this West All-Star team. And that is, so the roster on here, we've got to catch up with it just a little bit. And let's see, I'm not finding 20 on my roster there, but needless to say, keep an eye out on JT Turner out of Montgomery, 5'8", 170, and just explosive, teeing things up.
So at 5:07, we are ready to go after the coin toss that was not, and the rock, paper, scissors that was.
That will live in infamy.
Yes. I'm going to have to go back and watch a replay of this because that was just not how I expected this to start. This is an all-star game.
Noah Hood out of Denham Springs teeing things up for that, and to take us through the 2021 Gridiron Football All-Star game, the voice of Gridiron Football, Rich Dupree.
Thank you, Doug, and here we go on a beautiful, beautiful New Year's Eve, taken from the end zone up to the 10, cuts back, now goes back to the outside, and then brought down just shy of the 20-yard line on the return for the West team was number 1 on the return, J.T. Turner from Montgomery, Louisiana.
Yeah, we've seen J.T. Turner just so explosive out there. Looks like Ethan Fry is going to get the start at quarterback for the West team, Rich. The gunslinger out of Rose Pine, Louisiana, by way of Rose Pine High School, and a LSU baseball signing.
I was going to say, he's also one heck of a fastball throwing guy as well. So he'll be joining the Tigers, but on the baseball side of it. But tonight he gets another chance on football. He hands off. And, picked up and dropped as on the running back for the Gold with the carry was 23. Dincheles Jeter out of Bel Air High School here in Baton Rouge, but he got body slammed.
He did indeed, and that was out of St. Aug, Joshua Ford Alexander, who just came up and did his best WWE right there.
Gain of 1, a tough one to the 21, second down and 9. Handoff again on the carry once again for the East team, for the West team was Jeter, 5'7", 181. Jeter gets another yard to the 22. May have him even at the 23, so make it 3rd down and 7. Opening drive of the game as we go back to passes. Fry, Ethan looking right, left, comes back to this right side, and incomplete, says the official on the pass intended for number 14, Joseph Joseph Schlatter out of St. John. Since he's from Plaquemine, that might be Salatre.
Just a great job of throwing the out, unable to bring it in. Remember, back to punt is number 10. That's Alonzo Ruiz out of Caldwell, Louisiana, Caldwell Parish, Caldwell High School. On the punt, no rushing on this punt. So you see all the gunners, all the special teams players are spread out.
Kyle Jones Jr. out of Woodlawn and Baton Rouge is one of the 2 men that are standing at about their own 35, 36-yard line. As we get ready for the punt here on 4th down.
Again, 15-minute quarters. They're playing college rules today in this one. It looks like a delay of game.
No play clock, though, or at least the play clock's not working. So, again, we mentioned that 81, Kyle Jones Jr., one of the return men. I'm trying to see the other number, but the jersey rode up just a little bit here, 88, I believe.
Looks like 88, and that's Austin Jackson, the 4th out of North Shore.
All right. So just make sure we have that no score. Opening drive of the game, 3 and out as they punt the ball away, and high end over end, but it's going to stay and bounce back for the East squad, and it's going to be downed inside the 35 at the 32-yard line. Not a good kick for number 10. And again, he comes into this as a kicker, but again, that's your first kick in an all-star game. Might have been a little jitters in the Ruiz kick there.
Look, and it rolled into him. The snap did, but again, your timing's not thrown off because you've got all the time that you need to get that kick off. Just hit it off the side of his foot. Now, this East team in tremendous shape.
Again, he in practice, and 60-yarder he kicked yesterday in practice, so we know he can kick, and he's come in as that specialist from the Spartans up in Columbia. But now going the other way in West territory, the East takes over in motion from the far side. Quarterback play action goes out into the right flat to number 88. Dancing around, 88 cuts back outside after thinking about going inside. A little extra shove after the play. Again, getting that to Austin Jackson, the 4th, out of Slidell. A gain of just 1 yard after all that running. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
31, Avante Givens coming up and making the stop out of there. That's Wyatt Williams that gets the start at quarterback out of General Trask. He's on there. Amani Givens is the running back for him, and Amani plays for Coach Randall at Woodlawn and Baton Rouge.
You talked about the tour bus that came up. Folks out of Lake Providence, one of the elected officials there, actually rented a bus to come see some of the General Trask players that are in this game from Lake Providence. In motion comes number 2, Patrick Williams II. Goes from the left side to the right side. Inside the West 35, they're going to hand off, cutting near side 30. Got a little room outside, inside the 25 to the 22-yard line on the carry for number 5, Amari Givens. And Givens showing why Coach Randall likes that senior as he gets the first down.
Yeah, they're going to give him 11 yards. It looks like that. The stop made at the end of that play. Number 25 was in there defensively. That's Donovan Gray out of right back there in Grant Parish at a Grant High School.
Again, from all over the state of Louisiana, plus Florida, as well as Texas. And, again, you've got scouts here from across the Arklatex, as well as Mississippi that are here. So again, just a great opportunity for these young men. Inside the 25 at the 22, low snap, ball on the ground. Timeout called by the East. So timeout before that snap, so it will remain 1st down and 10. With 11:51 remaining here in the first quarter, we are playing college rules instead of high school rules, so it is 4 15-minute quarters versus what we're accustomed to in the 12-minute quarters that we have on the high school level.
Right. Also, they've got some bands that are going to be here performing at halftime. Andy was able to get 3 bands, and that's something that he's wanted to do, is have a battle of the bands type of a setup. The one drawback that he's running into is most of them are dispersed because school's out right now for the
yeah,
breaks.
yeah.
And because so many people have the parades and different things that they're doing, getting teams to come in. So was able to get some local teams up here. Just a well-rounded type of bowl game that recognizes not only players but also support staff, cheerleaders, bands, things like that.
It is New Year's Eve here, this December 30th. As it is first down and 10 at the 22-yard line of the West. Rolling out is number 10, Wydett Williams Jr. Jr. is going to keep it himself. Gets out of a leg tackle at the 21. He gets to the 20 before being gang tackled there. Again, a lot of running and some hard-fought running for just a yard or two. They'll give him 2. It should be second down and 8, ball at the 20.
Yeah, a lot of players in there for this West team. Final tackle made there, number 44, Hayden Cormier out of Ascension Episcopal. Lost. So 11:25 to go here in the and counting here in the first quarter. Underway, ready for our first touchdown. Trying to get there.
2 receivers on each side for Wydett Williams Jr. He will keep it himself, running outside inside the 20, but then goes trying to get around that corner and steps out at the 18-yard line. So, again, a couple of more yards on that run-pass option, but Wydett Williams decided to keep it himself and gets 2 more. It's going to be third down and a short 6, 3rd and 6 inside the West 20-yard line. Comes the East squad.
One of those non-Louisiana players getting there, Quentin Golston out of Escambia High School in Pensacola, Florida, coming up and making that one. And that's an interesting story. We talked to the DC of Escambia a little earlier.
Not that far a drive after all. I think we came further than they did. Third down and 6. Opening drive for the East. And I saw a bird fly by, and I thought it was a flag, but
beautiful. Again, just the weather out
picture
here
perfect.
is great. And delay of game was a call. And I go back to our talks today with Andy Bryson, who is the CEO of Gridiron Football, and such a calm and a relax on him. Weather wasn't a battle. Everything was running smooth, and that's what you expect in year 3 of this. And again, year 3 was lost to COVID, so this is the 3rd year of it in their 4th year of doing it. But kudos to Andy and that group.
Wydett's going to pitch it out. Trying to get a corner, does, but good pursuit, bringing down the big running back, Trenton Johnson, out of Salmon High School, as he tried to get that corner, but there was a lot of gold on that black jersey and kept him from really getting the corner, and he actually lost 3 yards to make it 4th and 11. You're inside the 25. They're going to attempt what will be a 40-yard field goal from the near side hash mark.
Justin Callahan out of Jonesboro Hodge came up and just made a tremendous open field tackle out of the safety spot, just zeroed in from the pitch.
Left-footed kicker, snap, place, kick is on its way, and no good for number 26, Ruben Varela, out of Kenner Discovery in Kenner, Louisiana.
Well, that's gonna show that the punt now that was just kicked off to the side and didn't really get many yards down the field, not going to come back to haunt them. And this first couple of drives of feeling out over with, they're getting back into a rhythm. We'll see who the West trots back out at quarterback. Looks like Fry is going to come back in, but he's got a different running back now. Caleb Galashaw out of Leesville is now in there, one of the most explosive backs that we've seen in high school football.
I believe he is signed with Belhaven, is Galashaw. Instead, they're going to run on the end around, coming near side, putting the shoulder down, number 17 out of that wide receiver on that far end for the gold, and gets a couple of yards, gets 5 yards. It'll be second down and 5.
Xander Milton out of Kenner Discovery coming up and making a fantastic play and going a little tempo now.
Again, now sweeping it to the far side, 29 on the sweep for the gold. Again, just running those slot guys. That is Cadian Kindler from Longwood, Florida. How about that? One of our Florida gets the first down with a 6-yard pickup. So you do a sweep from the slot from the left side and then from the right side. And again, still trying to keep that tempo up. Play action. Got it to his man in traffic. Nice catch by number 17. That is the tight end, Owen Harmon, out of Iota High School, 6'2", 218, and he caught that in traffic, Doug.
He did indeed, and that's what confidence in the tight end. He's brought his tight end with him in this one, and so very comfortable and confident in throwing to his tight end.
Handoff up the middle, running back gets a little bit of running room. That's Galashaw on the carry.
Yeah, Galashaw is one of those backs that can run over you, and he can get a seam and outrun
and
you
run
as well.
and run around you very easily because he can cut on a dime. You and I both have seen him over his career at Leesville. Up from our neck of the woods, back to pass on 3rd down and 4. Gets it out to Galashaw in open space, breaks one tackle, but cannot get that first down as he gets to the 44, but no more. Galashaw stopped after a 2-yard gain. It will be 4th and 2 from the west 44-yard line, and it does look like that Coach Justin Charles may roll the dice here.
Great defensive play that time by 34, Ricky Jarvis III, to save that first down.
Here we go, and the quarterback's going to keep it himself. Fry slips a tackle, digging. He will get to the 45. It's going to be very, very close. If it's a left foot spot, it appears he's going to be short, though. It appears he got the left foot instead of the right foot spot from the line judge on this near side, and they may bring the chains over, but it looks like you needed to get to the 45. He got to the 44 and a half.
Now they've stopped it and they go over. Oh, that was close, and Coach Charles and that group from the west.
Now look where they put the football. They put it across the 45.
Well, then now you've got to measure it.
You better bring it. Wow. Well, you know, if this was any other game, fans would be screaming.
It's turf, so the lines aren't painted.
Right.
And Coach,
there's no chalk.
Coach Charles and that group, it's on the far side of the 45. When it was marked, it was shy of the 45. You can't beat fun at the old ball game.
No, you can't. So quarterback now in the ball game for the black jerseyed East squad is 19, Dalton Biggs. Biggs is going to hand off back, cuts near side, gets a block 40 down to the 38-yard line. Nice running by number 5, Amani Givens from Woodlawn High School in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, they'll give him 6 on the play, and so 17 yards rushing for Givens. And again, you talk to Coach Marcus Randall about this young man, and he is just so solid of a runner.
6:45 remaining here in quarter number 1. No score between the West and the East. It is the East in West territory for the second time. Back, stepping now, rolling out of the pocket to the right side. Throwing a laser shot was Dalton Biggs. Incomplete. And that will bring up 3rd down and 4. 3rd down and 4. Stops the clock with 6:25 remaining, first quarter.
When you go back and look at this game over again, watch the offensive line play of 66. Cameron Jackson out of mentorship there in Baton Rouge did a great job of keeping his defensive end that was coming in, not blitzing, but just rushing through there. Did a great job, and he was out of that right tackle spot is where that young man was at. And all Cameron Jackson does is go 6'9", 290. Right?
Again, it's an all-star game, no doubt about that. 3rd down here for the quarterback, Dalton Biggs. Looks back, steps up now, fires down, got a man there, turns him completely around. And the intended receiver, 14, T.J. Bell out of Mangum High School. Although he was in a position, ball took him out of bounds, and it will bring up 4th down. And I believe you're going to have to go for it if you're Coach Moore and Coach or if I'm sorry, that is Coach Moore and Coach Clayton, honorary coach, head coach. They call it VIP head coach, and that he certainly is.
And so rock, paper, scissors to get. Wow.
Yeah, it's just I'm definitely going to go back and watch this just for the opening credits there.
So, yeah, here we go. And again, going forward on downs, and why not?
Yeah, you're in the West Territory. Handoff cutting. He's got the 40. He's got the first down to the 35. He needed to get to the 35, and he got there. And again, let's see where they spot the football.
Yeah, because that's always the key. Ladarius Wheeler out of Rayville. Coach JT and his group, that's one of his players. Ladarius Wheeler picks that up.
Nice run by Joshua Ray. And it is a first down for the East as they move deeper into West Territory. Again, the East has had the ball. This is their second possession. They've had the ball on the east side of the 50, the west side of the 50 each time. But this has not been able to convert. Back to pass. Biggs fires complete right into the bread basket of number 3 who brought it in. That's Avant Brown from Rayville, Louisiana, out of Rayville High School, 6'1", 160. He took that laser shot and held on.
Great job defensively that time by the goal team number 6 to come up and make that. That's Landon Pike out of Opelousas Catholic.
Clock at 5:19. No score. West, though, on its heels as the East is knocking on the door. Quarterback for this second possession is Dalton Biggs out of Pensacola, Florida. Ball is on the turf. Offensive lineman showing some hands, getting back on it. Number 78 for Covington High School out of Covington, Louisiana. Logan Potter was Johnny on the spot, or Logan on the spot, and got back on that.
He did, and now you send yourself back to third and just really, really long there, or is it?
And he, speaking of Logan, he needs to get used to this turf because this is where he's committed to come. So he will have that opportunity to feel that bounce maybe more than once. But, yeah, big yards lost there. 11, 12, 13 yards lost on that. So now it's third down and 17. Back to pass. Got an arm, but the receiver cut in when maybe it was designed to cut out. Pass intended for Kyle Jones Jr. out of Woodlawn, who's 6'2", 180, but the quarterback from Florida just could not get it to him, and it will be fourth down, and they will try to flip the field here as they bring on number 26, Ruben Varela, who is a left-footed kicker. We'll see what he can do to place the West deep in their own territory.
Back deep to receive. Number 20 is back there for the gold for that West team. And I don't see him unless your roster is a little different.
Well, it shouldn't be, but there we go with the kick. It is high, it is deep. It's going to bounce at the 1, and you better get it before it goes in the end zone, and they do down it at the 1-yard line.
Beautiful punt there, and mark that down with 4:08. A punt inside the 1 for Ruben Varela. And that's a huge play that sets this West team up deep in the shadow of their own end zone. Yeah, just again, night starts to fall here in Hammond, Louisiana, and a beautiful setup here on the campus of Southeastern and Strawberry Stadium. You see the cabanas set up out here along the end zones where their fans are able to come in and watch these games. Great setup.
So they are. All right, so someone is being presented a check from Marcus Randall and Andy Bryson.
That was a promise that they had made. They're going to come back and give a portion of these proceeds, half the proceeds, back to these schools that are in there.
Great.
So tremendous job, Andy Bryson and Marcus Randall, doing what they do and giving back to these communities.
And it's excellent to see that, and you know, that's not only is it a holiday period, these coaches are out of school right now,
right.
And so they're giving a week's worth of their time to do something they love doing, just for the sheer opportunity to be able to pour back into these kids.
Right, and do that, you know, and we talked to the coaches earlier before the game, and we're going to have some videos of those things that we put up, but coaches learning from each other just as much as these kids are learning from the coaches.
So from their own end zone comes the gold. No score with 4:08. The West squad moving left to right in front of the home stands here at Strawberry Stadium at SLU. Southeastern Louisiana University, a member of the Southland Conference.
This is the time you got to take a shot down the field here.
Back, pumps, fires, incomplete at the feet of the intended receiver, number 1, J.T. Turner.
Yeah, JT, you know, again, we've talked to him. If he can get the ball to him in open space, but it's still the slant. This is one of those when there's no blitzing, you got to get your offensive line to give you a little bit of time, and you get somebody in man coverage and go over the top here.
Quarterback is Tydre Malone. Malone throwing one-on-one and just through the fingertips of the intended receiver, number 3, Devontae Mosey out of Jonesboro Hodge. Oh, boy, you were just calling the play, Doug, and Tydre Malone was throwing to his fellow teammate, Devontae Mosey. So, you know, they've done that a few times up at Jonesboro Hodge in Jonesboro, Louisiana, but could not hit it there.
Well, and again, from inside your 1, you don't want to run the ball because they're crushing down, they're collapsing down on the run.
Back to pass, again throwing downfield, again, and through the fingertips. And number 15 this time, the intended receiver. And that is the tight end, Caleb Vizier, out of Sulphur, Louisiana. 6'4", 220, but runs more like a wide receiver instead of a tight end. And on the pass attempt from Ethan Fry, I had the wrong number a moment ago, but Ethan Fry from Rose Pine showing a lot of air, Doug, under those last 2 passes that were just off the fingertips of the intended receiver in back-to-back passes.
Yeah, you don't think Ethan could have dropped that ball in there any better than that.
So again, getting it away, and a good kick here will bounce. And again, for the 3rd consecutive series, the East All-Stars will start on the west side of the 50, but still no score with 3:31 remaining.
No, and kudos to this West team defense. They've had their backs against their goal line in the shadow. And when you start a drive over in plus territory like this, each team is doing on your scoring side of the 50, then you've got to have those opportunities to get something going. Again, this West team defense hanging around, keeping the East offense out of the end zone, and this thing scoreless here as we are nearing the 3-minute mark in the first quarter. Like another switch at quarterbacks, Wydett Williams back in.
So I guess they are alternating as where the West has stayed with Ethan Fry for the first 3 series. Now it's back to number 10 out of General Trask, and a whistle on the snap. Do we have another delay or an illegal substitution? False start, okay. So procedure call against the East for their first play after the punt. So move that ball closer to the Lions' ear there, if you will, near midfield. We're at the West 47-yard line. Snap back to Wydett. He's going to hand it off. Running back cuts and then gets his legs cut out from under him as Amani Givens tried to stay on his feet, but Amani picks up a yard, if you will, to the 46-yard line. So a gain of only 1, 2nd down and 14.
And don't forget, Rich, coming up at the end of the game, we will award the offensive and defensive MVP for both squads on here. There'll be an East and a West offense and defensive MVP following the completion of this one.
Coach Darren Moore from Salmon High School, offensive line coach, but also a play caller as well, telling his wide receiver to go, Patrick Williams II, to the other side. And the quarterback, Wydett Williams, back to pass, fires in and out of the hands of the West, who had the closest opportunity at the interception, as number 31, Avante Givens from Bel Air High School, if that's the same young man that we were talking about a few moments ago, he was the one that had the ball, but unfortunately he came out of his hands.
Yeah, Avante Givens, one of those early leaders perhaps for that defensive MVP, but there's a host of them on that West team that have had their backs, like we said, against the wall. One thing to keep an eye on that's not, you're seeing a lot of jersey separation on these West. Those rushing defensive linemen are getting through, and they're setting they're pushing back the offensive line of scrimmage and getting good penetration with just 3 down linemen rushing.
And unfortunately, the East is going to have to burn a timeout because the receiver was not in the right place. And again, Darren Moore, very frustrated, and I see Michael Clayton in his ear giving him a little piece of information there. But again, they've had 3 practices, Doug, and that's not a lot of time for these All-Stars.
No, in fact, it's not, Rich. And what we saw was them going at it so much because these coaches, the weather hasn't affected them, so they're out there and practicing and wanting these kids to get all of the effort that they could out of this. And even as late as the video I saw yesterday, Coach Charles from Menard High School was telling his kids, said, look, if you can't get in there and get down into training, just get some ice from the ice machine, fill the bathtub up and lay in that and get cooled off and get your legs back under you. And that's not stuff you expect to hear in wintertime football as it is. But make no mistake about it, this has been an intense week for players, coaches, and alike.
Fantastic opportunity to again have at least one more high school football game. Number 10, Wydette Williams taking the low snap, gets the ball out to number 35 in the near flat, Trenton Johnson from Salmon, but not a lot of trickeration there, if you will, as he picks up 7 yards, but it's going to be 4th down and 8. 4th down and 8. The ball is at the 40. Again, you are inside the west side of the 50, so what do you got to lose but go for it here? So they will go for it on 4th down and 8 from the west 40-yard line. Wydette Williams, the quarterback of the East, back to pass. Got some time now, rolling out right side, telling his man get free, throws back across the middle, complete, got a block, shakes a tackle at the 35-30 to the 25-20, trying to stay in bounds, and the official says he went out of bounds inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. What a nice pitch and catch there as the quarterback does what they tell you not to do, Doug. Throw back across your body across the field, but some great moves put on by the wide receiver, number 88, Austin Jackson the 4th. He put it into the 4th gear and took it to inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Yeah, good job of passing now on the day by Williams. He's getting some numbers, helped out a lot by a great play by 88 there.
Williams handing off, running back, breaks a tackle at the 7 down to the 5-yard line on the running back, number 35, Trenton Johnson from Slidell, Louisiana, out of Salmon High School. Gets them to the 5. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line as the East is knocking on the door for the first score of the game, as we're almost under a minute remaining in this first 15-minute quarter. Wydette, low snap, hands off, trying to go off tackle right side into the end zone for the touchdown for Trenton Johnson.
Look, that was all made by Trenton Johnson. That play was designed to go outside. He sees that he's not going to be able to get the corner, cuts that back in, gets into the end zone. Great job.
So a 5-yard run officially gets Trenton Johnson in the end zone with 50 seconds remaining here in this first quarter of play. Extra point coming up, timeout coming up after that, as we have the extra point attempt. I believe this is Noah Hood with the kick. Kick is on its way, and it is good by Noah Hood out of Denham Springs. And the extra point is there. We'll take a timeout. The East All-Star team gets into the break here with a score, 50 seconds left in the first quarter. It is East 7, West nothing. This is the 2021 Gridiron Football All-Star Bowl game on Flying Ghost Productions.
Looking for a real estate agent? Let Lateria Hughes help you buy or sell your home. Schedule your appointment to get a complimentary market evaluation. Contact Lateria Hughes today. Call 225-324-6144.
Welcome back to Hammond Strawberry Stadium here on the beautiful campus of Southeastern Louisiana University. I'm Rich Dupree along with Doug Gann as we are here along with Chuck Perkins representing 446 Sports, joining with our good friends from Flying Ghost Productions to bring you the video and audio of this All-Star Bowl game as the East scores on a 5-yard touchdown run by Trenton Johnson. They get on the scoreboard first. 50 seconds remaining in this first quarter as the black jerseyed East team kicks off to the gold-clad West. And here we go from the 40-yard line. Good kick by the left-footed kicker, fielded at the 2-yard line. Returned back up to the 5, cut back 10, far side 15, 20, 25, and brought out of bounds from behind at the 31-yard line. Good return of 30-plus yards by the West.
Indeed, and now we'll see if they're able to get that ball. The biggest problem that the West has had tonight is that they've given the East the football in the plus 50 all throughout the night, and they have yet to cross over, I don't believe.
No, they have not.
Over
right.
the 50.
Just a couple of first downs to their credit. They have really struggled. Ethan Fry has shown great ability as he remains the quarterback. The 6'5", 220 senior out of Rose Pine High School remains the quarterback here in this first quarter, as where the East has alternated quarterbacks every other possession. Ethan pumps now. Ethan sees it open. He's going to run 35, 40, Fry 45, gets near midfield. The official will mark him out of bounds right at the 50-yard line. So nice job by Ethan Fry in that spread offense, having everybody spread out enough, and then he was able to dodge the tackler for plus yardage once he got past the chain.
Again, Ethan Fry just so talented out there from Rose Pine, Louisiana, and Rose Pine High School. Signed to play baseball for those Tigers, and I think Coach Kelly needs to take a look at him.
Handoff, running back, just carrying tacklers downhill, down the hash marks to the 43-yard line. Good job of running there, Doug, by number 13.
First time we've seen Micaiah Butler out of Shreveport, Louisiana. He's 6 foot 198 and just a load, and that's going to wrap it up here in the first quarter, Rich.
We'll take another break here, another timeout. We've reached the end of one quarter, but for the first time, the West is in East territory. They trail the East by a score of 7-0. It's the East All-Stars at the end of a quarter, up 7-0. Back after this timeout. It's the 2021 Gridiron Football All-Star Bowl game on Flying Ghost Productions.
Looking for a real estate agent? Let Lateria Hughes help you buy or sell your home. Schedule your appointment to get a complimentary market evaluation. Contact Lateria Hughes today. Call 225-324-6144.
We switch ends of the field, and now it will be the East moving left to, the West moving left to right. Fry throws off of the hands of the intended receiver, number 12, Kobe Tillman, out of Tioga High School in Tioga, Louisiana. Good opportunity there to bring it in. Fry has been on the money with his receivers, but just not bringing them in at this point, and it'll make it 3rd down and 1. So took the shot downfield at the end of the quarter, and now we start the second quarter. First time that the West has been on the east side of the 50. Handoff, 13, got the first down, 40, 35, more running room to the 30, to the 29-yard line. Well, again, we're seeing Micheal Butler from Magnolia out of Shreveport showing nice downhill running for this young man.
You know, the first arm tackle is not going to get him. He continues to turn those legs, and just a big-bodied running back. Gets
the first down. Fry will play action, throws off of the intended receiver. Number 20 quickly went off the pads, and Doug mentioned this earlier. We don't have a number 20 on the Gold team, so we'll have to try to find out who that is, because we've missed an opportunity to give credit a couple of times.
Yep, he's very, very solid. But again, this defense of the East continues to play such tight coverage.
2 receivers on each side for Fry. Going to hand off again, dancing inside the 25, inside the 20. Again, Micheal Butler from Shreveport out of Magnolia High School, just dancing with the stars out there as he is dancing under the stars for what is another West first down.
Got him with about 32 yards rushing on 3 carries already in this one.
Quickly they go back to number 13. Micheal breaks another tackle as they rugby it, and a flag comes in, a helmet comes off, and you're at the 15-yard line, but a little dirty laundry on the field. We'll see what we have here. Thought I saw a flag, and white hat. Yep, picking that up now. Let's see.
Right now, unofficially a 3-yard gain, but we'll see what the penalty is on it. Again, they're not mic'd up, but we're able with good camera work to get right down in there.
A lot of discussion. White hat hadn't signaled anything our way. Personal foul against the East.
For pulling that helmet off of there.
Yeah, so it'll be half the distance to the goal line, and that will put the West first and goal inside the 10 as the ball sits at the 7-yard line.
Looked like the West woke up a little bit after that touchdown by the East.
Here goes Fry, quickly handoff. Micheal. Let's see. I'm sorry, that's Justin Doyle out of MLK in New Orleans that came in. I thought I noticed a little bit different frame there carrying the ball. And so 34, you go from a 200-pound running back to a 240-pound running back.
Yeah, you can see that he's definitely a little wider across the top as Doyle.
Yeah, those shoulder pads are specially ordered. Back to pass, Fry looking, got a man, but wrong man, incomplete pass. As the East is saying we came up with it in the end zone, the official said, no, you did not. As number 1 came up with it, Sharon Finister Jr. out of Faraday. But nope.
And look, we follow along with him on social media, and his mom is on there a lot. And just proud. And you heard when he was announced, this crowd, the group that came up to watch him, really here and really vocal.
3rd and goal from the 7. They hand it off. They get the running back at the 5. I want to check my carry there. It is 13 back in the ball game. Micheal Butler out of Magnolia. And Coach Justin Charles is going to send in the field goal unit to attempt a field goal here.
Put the fake on. This is let's look.
This is an all-star game.
Throw it back over here. Let's do this.
It will be in essence a 23-yard field goal. Again, no rushing here. Are they able to jump up and down? Not even sure about that. Nope, they're not. Extra point. Field goal is good from 23 yards out. Timeout coming your way. back in 30 seconds. The West gets on the scoreboard with a field goal. It's East 7, West 3, the 2021 Gridiron Football All-Star Bowl game here on Flying Ghost Productions.
Have you been consistently failing at saving money, paying bills on time, paying off debt, etc.? Tired of not accomplishing your financial goals? As budget coaches, we can help you learn to manage your money and put you on a path to financial freedom successfully. Contact us today to schedule a consultation. budgetboundmc.com.
Welcome back to Hammond, Louisiana, as it is the last high school game of any kind. Tomorrow night you'll have the Final Four, if you will, of college football's bowl championship playoff and everything. But this is an all-star bowl game, and it's the last one of the all-star bowl games that have been around the state as well. And we're glad to be in Hammond, Louisiana, as we have the West kicking off to the east, the ball heading toward the end zone, into the end zone, and now 88's going to return it out at the 5, 10, 15, cut back 20, and what looked like was he might take a knee. Instead, the number 88 brings it out, Austin Jackson the fourth, and
college rules, bring it out.
Bring it out.
So we'll see now if this East team is able to get back in there and mount another drive. First time that they've started on their own side of the field in minus territory. So we'll see how they're able to sustain a drive. You know, the defense of this West team has been solid throughout, playing on a short field. We'll see if they can get something going, get the ball back in their offense's hands, and go put some more points out.
And, of course, the way that the East has been doing it is alternating quarterbacks, as where the West, it went with Ethan Fry for all of the first quarter. So they'll come out now with number 19, Dalton Biggs from Pensacola, Florida, out of Escambia High School, and a flag. So let's see. Official is talking, and the white hat will tell us dead ball. Illegal substitution on the offense. So the East definitely, Doug, starting in the hole here.
Yeah, starting to back up, and you start getting behind the chains. This is going to give that very opportunistic West defense an opportunity to come back and get Biggs from Escambia.
So first down and 15, ball inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Back to pass, Biggs got a man, throws it behind his intended receiver, number 15, Sean Haynes. Had he been able to hit the 6'5" Haynes in stride, he would have been able to bring that in and get some of that yardage back, but he threw it behind him, and fortunate it didn't get picked off.
Well-designed play that was right there offensively in execution, because you run your receiver out in front of the official that's standing there 10 yards deep from the line of scrimmage and try to get him to run a natural pick on your defender. The only problem was the ball was thrown behind him. You get it out in front, and he's got an opportunity to go.
And it's a 6'5" receiver as well, so he had a big target he was throwing to. There is the quarterback out of Pensacola. He's going to hand off, running back, though, hit as the Gold Crush of that defense stops the running back basically in his tracks, as number 25, Joshua Ray out of Mandeville at Lakeshore, stopped for no gain.
52 was in there on that stop. That's Garrett Dubois out of St. Edmund Catholic in Eunice. I say Dubois because he is from Eunice. So if it's not, then that's a misguided thing. But the interior line that's only rushing 3 people has just been solid for this West team. We've talked about them through this first quarter and a half.
Third down and 15. Quarterback now rolling out, scrambling toward his own sideline, throws the ball up for grabs. Boy, there was a lot of gold jerseys on the pass that was intended for number 15, Sean Hayes, the 6'5" young man that we were talking about a couple of plays ago. But quarterback Dalton Biggs just threw it up for grabs at the 35. And
Tell you somebody I was impressed with on that one, defensive end out of DeQuincy, Chris Simmons, 6'4", 220, but was running like a wide receiver out there as he was in pursuit, and that's what caused Biggs to kind of have to get out of there.
and throw really without setting his feet. So 4th down punting situation as 26 Ruben Varela comes on to punt the ball for the East. West should have it in decent field position as the ball, oh my word, inside the 25. And it's the punter actually picks it up at the 20-yard line. This is not the same young man we've seen on film this week as far as punting is concerned. And again, there's no rush, so you got as much time as you need to put a boot into it.
Look, I'm looking at the flag that's just off to our left to see if the wind had picked up, or the ones that are hanging off the goalpost to see if maybe they're kicking into a wind.
Nope.
But going left to right kicking, it's been tough on these young men. And this sets that West team up in point-blank range. And for the first time, Rich, now we will see Tydre Malone out of Jonesboro Hodge.
Malone, number 8, looking near side, now rolling out far side. Got his man at the 11 to the 10, down to the 7-yard line on the pass completion. Nice job. The new quarterback coming in and making the pass completion.
Got another flag out by the goal line is where this one was. Might be a little bit of trash talking down there. We'll have to see. It came in towards the tail end of the play.
Pass was complete, by the way, to number 9, or number 8. That is Jalarian Newsom out of Lake Providence and a General Trask. We mentioned there are 3 or 4 General Trask players in this game.
Trying to work and see what's going on. And
I saw I didn't get what the official said, but it was against the East because they move it half the distance to the goal. Illegal substitution is what PA announcer Cheston Tavares is saying.
We've seen Malone able to run his position.
And he does here as he gets inside the 5 to the 4. But, again, it just took too long to develop, Doug. And, unfortunately, the quarterback there in Tydre Malone out of Jonesboro Hodge, he's 6'5", so it's not like he can hide behind an offensive lineman.
Well, and it's good penetration by that defensive line. And we've seen the trenches, and the coaches talked about that in the interviews that we did with them earlier. The work in the trenches has been so impressive this week, and you got to believe that those guys, the big guys in the middle, are the ones that are going to be a little bit ahead with just 3 or 4 days of practice.
2nd and goal from right at the 5. Quick snap. Quarterback didn't look like he was ready. Fires incomplete. High on the pass intended for number 9. And again, just missing an opportunity there.
Indeed, and coming in, not blitzing, but rushing in rather solidly, number 18 for that East team. It made things difficult. 10 minutes to go here until halftime, and East bogged down right here. The West bogged down here on their last drive and settled for the field goal.
3rd and goal from the 5. Timing pattern got number 20 there. Did he bring it in? The official says no. No, he did not.
Yeah, and he has to look back at the official that is sitting there. And you've got one official that's back under the goalpost. His idea is to look straight at the feet of the receiver and see what he's got, but was ruled out of bounds on a beautiful throw by Malone and a pretty solid catch out there.
Don't have number 20 on our roster.
Number 2. We'll have it at halftime.
Yes, we will. It is a field goal opportunity. Last time it was 13 from the it was 23 yards. This time it's 22 yards. Placement, snap, kick is up and good. Back after this timeout. It is a 1-point ball game. East 7, West 6. The 2021 Gridiron Football All-Star Bowl game on Flying Ghost Productions. Welcome back as Flying Ghost Productions brings you video of our game today. And 446 Sports, Doug Gann, Rich Dupree representing here today as we bring you a great game to really cap off the 2021 high school football season, as it is an all-star game with over 110 players in this game, representing all parts of Louisiana as well as Florida and Texas, represented here in this third Gridiron Bowl Classic.
Right, they played in 2018, 2019, and now COVID got them in back in 2021, and this has been a defensive duel here in this one.
As we get ready for the kickoff, I want to remind you that Gridiron Football has an app that you can easily download as well and keep up with Gridiron Football, not only in Louisiana but across the South. Low kick or taken at the 15 up to the 20, 25, 30, 35 to the 36-yard line on the nice return for the East squad. As a number 34 on the return. A good job by the West in bringing that back.
Yeah, Ricky Jarvis has that out of Baker, and he's made a couple of good stops defensively and back returning kicks as well. The 6'2", 180-pound senior out of Baker High School playing, and they've got him listed. They've only got one player listed with two positions as defensive back and wide receiver, and that's Ricky Jarvis III, and he's showing his special teams and athleticism here in this one early on.
Could be very valuable to a college team on the next level. Again, we know that there have been some offers handed out even today here at SLU. Ball on the turf. Now the quarterback running for his life and able to get back to the line of scrimmage somehow. I don't know how, but number 10, Wydett Williams Jr. out of Lake Providence, Louisiana, actually gained a yard or two on that play. 2nd down and 8 on what was a busted play.
Very pleased with the athleticism of Wydett Williams. Again, you just talked about him out of General Trask, and just solid, and he's got great field awareness. That's the thing that one of those intangibles. You know, you talk about the measurables, but intangibles are one of those things that catches those college coaches' eyes.
Just under 9 minutes remaining in the first half. It is East 7, West 6. East with the football. Wydett Williams Jr. quickly out. Now they toss the ball, and the ball is loose, and a little hook and ladder there of sorts, but the ladder broke, and number 11 for the West team comes up with it. What an eyeball for the loose ball, as
Javion Andrews is quick to fall on that out of Jonesboro Hodge. Again, these Jonesboro Hodge players are just really getting after it. And number 20 for the East, or number 20 for the West, is Earl Jackson out of Amite. So the unable to mention player number 20 there is Earl Jackson from Amite, the state champions in 2A. Now we'll get the West back out there and going, or off the West team roster, yes.
Thank you. Now firing, just behind the intended receiver. As what a slinging of the ball by number 8, Tydre Malone, but pass incomplete, intended for number 1, J.T. Turner.
Yeah, again, just want to go back and talk a little bit about Earl Jackson. He's been on a couple of those kick returns for the
now that we have his name,
right.
Yes. From Amite.
We saw the deep ball by Malone was one of his fortes.
Tydre stepping up in the pocket. Tydre, look out from behind now, running room 30, 25, steps out of a tackle and gets to the 21-yard line. Let's see if they give him forward progress to the 20. They'll mark him at the 21, but it will be a first down for the West, as they are trying to take this lead away from the East. East has given up 2 field goals to the West, but now the West trying to take the lead as they drive deep into East Territory. Tydre Malone calls for the football. Now steps up in the pocket, fires over the middle, but incomplete between two defenders. Had a man open in the end zone, but just could not get any air under the ball.
You know, he was forced, Malone was, to get up and out of that pocket quickly. Jaquel Mack was coming in off of his right-hand side. Mack out of East Ascension High School. You don't expect somebody that big to be coming at you that fast, but Mack goes 6'2.5", 227, and so that will make you step up in the pocket quickly.
White Hat discussing something on the field. I thought maybe just a flag we didn't see, but instead it will be 2nd down and 10. Ball is just outside the 20 at the 21. Tydre Malone from Jonesboro Hodge looking over to the far sideline, to the visitor sideline. Calls for the football. Throws quickly behind the tight end. Incomplete.
Yeah, that was intended for, again, Chaltre out of St. John and Plaquemine. And these quarterbacks are just a step behind on their release, getting it behind these wide receivers. And it could very well be that they're not used to receivers getting off the line that fast. But every receiver you see out here is an all-star, so they're running at a little bit higher pace.
Again, they'll go with two receivers on each side for the West team here on 3rd down and 10 from the 21. Malone now running. Malone firing behind the intended receiver who had already gone into a slide, trying to go back and get the ball at about the 4-yard line. Pass incomplete. Now you are looking at a long field goal opportunity to try to take the lead as you bring on Alonzo Ruiz from Caldwell Parish High School.
Based on what we've seen a little bit earlier, I think this might be a tad out of his range. This one would be from 38 that's on there, so you're kind of in a no man's land on there. You don't really want to punt from here. Going for it on 4th and 10 might be a little too much, but they may have seen something this week that they like in Ruiz.
It is the West opportunity, and boy, nice distance. Ball is just the wide left, just to the left.
Plenty of leg in there, but just missed it to the left.
And again, with no rush, no jumping, no, even attempting to block it. You just probably from a kicker standpoint, you got your best opportunity, and you just missed to the left.
When you get that farther out, you see the difference in the two kicks that he had earlier, the one that he just wanted to make sure that he got up and threw there, similar to extra points. This one, in fact, he had plenty of leg for it. So that's the kicking that we had heard about, a different kicking style that he used on that one and really hammered that one. Just pulled it a little bit to the left, but had good distance on it.
So now we change sides of the field. Officials again congregating and discussing. And do I see two white hats?
You absolutely do. Well, anytime, Rich, you've got to start a game with rock, paper, scissors, that leads you to believe you may need two white hats in a ball game because, that we've seen that group of Micheal, Clayton, Devery, Henderson, and Marcus Randall do some crazy things this week.
Oh, they have.
So, and it culminates with some rock, paper, scissors to get this thing. You guys just joining us aren't aware of what happened there. They went down there and no coin to toss. And so they settled things like men with rock, paper, scissors. How else do you do it, Rich?
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's what the officials are discussing. And now I see that the other white hat is not actually an official. So I did see two white hats down there, but as I adjust my bifocals here, I see that one of them is wearing shorts and not in a zebra outfit. But what's the discussion about?
Well, Josh Sibley is out there on the field, and he is one member of this Gridiron football group. All of the majority of the pictures that you see are taken by Sibley, and a lot of the press conferences and everything covers the LSU Tigers for this Gridiron football group, and I don't know, just hanging out.
So the officials will break huddle, if you will, and now there's some conversation going on with the coaches from the West on the far side as it is East football at the 25-yard line after the missed field goal attempt. It is East 7, West 6 with 7:39 remaining. And, Doug, you remember we talked about, and we're trying to keep score ourselves with statistics to let folks know we will be selecting a MVP from each squad for both offense and defense.
Yeah, we'll have that as well as awarding the coveted Champions Trophy to the head coach.
High snap fielded by Wydette Williams, gets it to his running back. And a nice job making some lemonade out of that high lemon, if you will. Nice grab by Wydette with one hand to bring it in. And the West, scrambling a little bit there as the East picks up 4 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6 quickly. Wydette hands off, 35 to the left side on the carry. That is Trenton Johnson from Salmon. And Trenton gets a couple more going off left tackle to the 33-yard line. Make it 2nd down and 6 now.
Landon Pike out of Opelousas Catholic comes up and makes another tackle. That's his 4th of the game defensively for that West team, and a defense that's keeping their offense in the game. Pike has been a leader of that defense thus far.
I'm mistaken because the down marker had not changed, and now it is 3rd down. As we had run, as the East had run 2 plays, 3rd down and 2. Wydette hands off. Number 5 on the carry, trying to cut back is Amani Givens. Givens very close to the 1st down, and it appears he does have it as he needed to get to the 36. He got to the 37. It is a 1st down for the East as you're looking at 6:26 remaining here in this first half of play.
Donovan Gray out of Grant High School coming up and making another play. And, the last few days that we've talked to head coach Marcus Round of Woodlawn Baton Rouge, he's been so high on that young man.
With great reason. 1st down for the black jerseyed East team roster, moving left to right. Here, they're the home team on the scoreboard. Fake, give, pass out near side. Breaks a tackle at the 40 to the 50 and brought down by the horse collar. It didn't actually go down, was number 88. And the 1st down for Austin Jackson IV out of North Shore High School in Slidell.
We saw 88 on the big run. We saw Jackson with that big run to the near sideline that got him down to the 5-yard line earlier. So 2 big plays out of the receiver spot. He's got 64 yards receiving and 22 via the kick return. So an early candidate himself.
Austin Jackson IV. 1st down and 10 inside the West 45 at the 41-yard line. Wydette Williams calling for the football. Is going to hand off to number 5 again, Amani Givens. Givens breaks another tackle, 35. Givens staying on his feet inside the 30 at the 27-yard line. Amani Givens says, move over, Mr. Jackson. I got a chance at this MVP too.
Look, these running backs are finally getting – we saw a little bit of a slowdown out of this East team, and now that tempo is starting to ratchet up a little bit. Both teams has had success when they've pushed the tempo.
Defense wearing down maybe just a little bit here too as we're under 5 minutes and a timeout right at the 5-minute mark. Timeout taken by the West. We'll be back in 30 minutes. This is the 30 seconds. This is the 2021 Gridiron Football All-Star Bowl game on Flying Ghost Productions. Yes, we are back. We're discussing the intricacies of the Gridiron football giving back to high schools, the only all-star game in the country that actually gives money back.
Well, and you see the kids get their jerseys. They get these big rings, their all-star rings, and they're giving money back. And that's something, it's Andy Bryce and Marcus Randall, that group, veteran-owned company, doing big things in Louisiana and nationwide.
First down and 10. And getting the ball out, complete to number 17. Slipping a tackle was August Banks Jr. And again, Wyatt Williams Jr. taking a busted play and making something out of it. Gets a couple of yards inside the 30 to the 20. They're going to mark him at the 26, so he gets 3 on the play. Second down and 7.
We've heard so much about that young man, Wyatt Williams Jr., and he's shown the smarts on the field.
2 receivers left, one to the right, handoff, running back, cuts 25, 20-yard line. Nice piece of running by number 21, Ladarius Wheeler out of Rayville High School at 5'8", 190.
Continuing to get running backs out on the field, a little bit of change of pace. Some of these D linemen getting tired.
Yeah, and you're going to have too many men on the field. I don't see a flag. But the West got caught with one too many men on the field, but nobody threw a flag. So I guess it's not speeding if you don't get stopped, right?
Dalton Kill, we'll see on the way home. Dalton Kill out of Rose Pine coming up and making that one on there.
But I'm watching number 91 jog past the official, and I'm out, guys.
It was the phantom tag like at second base. If you're in the vicinity of the sideline, it counts.
That could have been the strawberry miracle, but no. All right, never mind. Never mind.
Time out on the field, and Coach Moore is visibly upset about what's going on. And we talked a little bit to 5 or 6 of the coaches. You'll see those interviews that are posted up. And
you see Coach Moore saying, did you not see number 91? How could you miss the defensive lineman going off the field? And Coach Moore goes, yeah, and of course the white hat's going, hey, I don't get paid enough to listen to you, okay? I'm going to walk away.
So we know that an official's been run from the game. Has a coach ever been thrown out of the Gridiron Bowl game?
Well, it could happen, but all the officials are saying, I didn't think he was going to make such a big deal about that. I mean,
well, it was insignificant in the play because he was off on the side.
But it would have given him a first down.
The letter of the law, go out and get it on the field.
That's it. 3:22 remaining. We're going to be talking with Marcus Randall at halftime. We really enjoyed visiting with him. Just no cameras on, just talking football and just hearing about his and Devery. And hearing some of these coaches talk about whichever quarterback commits first, that's the one we're going to go with.
All set to go to Auburn.
Yeah.
And then here come a guy named Saban and turned up the heat in his first year here. And, wow, to hear the stories of him and Devery on what could have potentially never been.
Right. So 4th and 1. Now I see why Coach Moore was so upset. 4th and 1. And the quarterback's going to run the option. He's going to keep it himself, and he gets the first down as he steps across the 20. Ball is loose. The officials are saying forward progress stopped at the 19. And it appears to be a first down for the East. But
again, you remember early in the game on the 4th down where they spotted the ball shy of the 45, and then the next possession starts on the other side of the 45. So who knows?
If you want to see Coach Moore really lose it, say that he's short.
and they did. They're switching.
No, you're kidding me.
Short of the line to gain. It's going to be first down and 10, a big defensive stop for the West team.
I haven't seen a measurement yet, but I will tell you this, the official on the far side was standing at the 19, but that ball's nose is touching the 20.
you can say all you want that this is just an all-star meaningless game, but every player, every coach, every fan is competing to their fullest in this one.
No doubt about it. So we're switching the other way now. It's the West with the football. Back to pass is Tydre Malone. Malone will be brought down at the 19-yard line. Tydre Malone brought down at the 19, no gain. It'll be second down and 10.
Another one of those General Trask players coming up and making things happen. That was Stephen Everfield that was in there, 6'1.5", 185. He goes and made his presence known defensively to stop for no gain.
2:43 remaining until half. Malone comes to the near side trying to hit big number 80, Cole Donahue out of Rose Pine, 6'2", 205, but could not hit the big tight end as the pass is incomplete. Stops the clock at 2:37. It will be third down and 10 from the 20-yard line.
Back in coverage once again was Jaquel Mack, the big DB out of East Ascension.
It is the East 7, the West 6. West with the third down and 10. Back to pass. This is Fry. Fry's got his man and tipped by the middle linebacker for the East. Number 31, Justin Coates out of Oak Forest Academy in a meet.
Now bringing up special teams, punting from deep in their end zone. You got to be careful with this one. We've seen Ruiz with a couple of field goals that have been successful. We know he has the leg, but the punting for some reason in this game has not been solid. Keep an eye, Rich, back on number 88, who is back deep to receive, Austin Jackson IV.
This one gets at least past the 50, and it's off the hands of the East, and I believe the West has recovered. And indeed, they come up with the football after the return man come up and tried to make a shoestring catch and did not bring it in. And it is West football on the east side of the 50.
The Nicholas Jeter out of Bel Air coming up, and good special teams play there. And you talked about it. How would special teams affect it? We saw it affect both teams negatively from a kicking standpoint. That time, this drive is kept alive, and Ethan Fry stays in there at quarterback for the West.
So an opportunity here for the West to maybe snatch this lead right at halftime away from the East, who have had it the entire game. Handoff 21, right side, got a block. Dive inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. Nice running by Caleb Galashaw from Leesville High School, a Wampus Cat.
Yeah, Coach Causey just continued, and there's been several Galashaws that came through Leesville. Leesville always seems to produce big, solid running backs.
You think of Eddie Fuller, you think of Cecil Collins, you think of Caleb's brother, Dante. Handoff, and this time Galashaw not able to get through the line and get shoved back toward the white hat.
Yeah, that was just a great job. Number 6 firing through there for that East team, and that is Rich Ellis McNeely Jr. out of Woodlawn and Baton Rouge. Another one of those Coach Marcus Randall young men that's in there playing solid.
Fry now looking at third down after losing a couple. That down and distance marker not moving fast enough for me. Fry back on third down and 5. Sets up the screen to Galashaw. And the reception made, but Galashaw will lose another couple of yards back to the 34-yard line. Now you're going to be looking at 4th and 8. 4th and a short 8. You're going to go for it here with 48 seconds remaining here in the first half of play.
That screen read well and blown up by Joshua Ford Alexander Jr. out of St. Augustine, New Orleans, and we have talked about him throughout this entire first half of way he's exploded to the football defensively.
Clock is at 28 seconds. 4th and 8. 4th down and 8.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to let the clock run out. They'll get a timeout over there. Coach Charles and Coach Henderson will take a timeout right there.
We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. It is 18 seconds left in this first half. East 7, West 6, here on Flying Ghost Productions.
From Kentwood to Manchac.
From Bedico to Wilma, we're back in business.
And yes, we're open. Come enjoy Tangible Hope Parish.
Our gift shops are stocked.
Our restaurants are ready.
Our museums,
our gyms and our sports parks
are now open.
Tangible Parish is open, so plan to visit here.
Ruiz makes this. He's the leader for the MVP with his third field goal, this one from 51.
So Coach Justin Charles let the clock bleed down to 18 seconds before calling the timeout, and now we have a 51-yard field goal attempt for number 10, Alonzo Ruiz from Caldwell Parish up in Columbia. Kick is on its way. It's got the distance, and it is good from 51 yards, making Justin Charles look like a genius, bleeding the clock, and then coming on for the 51-yard field goal.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful kick, and right now Ruiz has got to be our front runner for MVP. He's got field goals of 23, 21, and now 51. Just missed one a little bit earlier, but he's accounted for all 9 points.
And he had distance then on that one. It just pushed left.
A little bit of a disadvantage defensively because it was a low bobbled snap, and that one would have been blocked or missed if there would have been some sort of a rush, which there's not in this one.
Right.
And you know all of the if jokes that you can insert right there. But needless to say, what a tremendous leg going from 51 yards out for Alonzo Ruiz from Caldwell.
And it gives the West team, Doug, the lead for the first time tonight, 9-7 with 10 seconds remaining as Ruiz gets set to kick off from his own 40 from right to left. Let's see if the East maybe has a run back in their arsenal, taken at the 8-yard line, up to the 15, 20, cuts near side, 30, still on his feet, 40, steps out of a tackle and out of bounds at the 47 with 2 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and then just continuing to make things happen is Austin Jackson, the fourth out of North Shore. He's got just kick return after kick return after kick return, and that one is good for, see, they'll mark him at the
47,
they're putting him out the 47,
48.
So give him 32 on the return.
Nice job there indeed. But again, coming off of the 51-yard field goal from Alonzo Ruiz, his third field goal of the game, giving the West their first lead of the game, 9-7. That is 9 unanswered points after the East initially took a 7-0 lead. At quarterback is Biggs. He's going to roll out to his left side. Last play, barring a penalty, complete at the 37. Cuts back now 40, still on his feet, and put a little jelly in between the peanut butter there and call that a sandwich. Wow.
That was, goodness, big number 32 coming up and making that play on the stop. And you see, anytime they're going to run across the field like that, Sean Malvo out of Como was sitting there just eyeing that one and ready to go. And good fundamental tackle.
Good first half of play that saw the East seemingly in control after having the ball on the west side of the 50 for 3 consecutive series. Again, finally able to score, but the East comes back and just chips away at it. And it is a West lead, 9-7 here at halftime. We will be talking with Marcus Randall about his thoughts on the success of year number 3 of this Gridiron All-Star game. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll put Marcus on the hot seat. It's the 2021 Gridiron Football All-Star Bowl game on Flying Ghost Productions.
And we're back to halftime here at the Gridiron Football All-Star game, and what a thriller it has been. 9-7, a lot of defense, and we're joined by someone that's more offensive-minded than that, Marcus Randall. And Coach, what a tremendous first half.
Man, it was a great first half. Like you just said, man, there's a lot of good defense going on. I'm expecting to see more offense in this second half. I mean, these guys have been practicing for the last few days and getting these schemes down, right. But they've been doing it in almost, they haven't been going full speed. So, right. So what you've seen in the first half, a lot of timing a little bit off, because now that they're drilling and pumping, and the game is actually live, they're playing at their full speed, right. And these not these guys normal guys, you know. Right. This is the All-Star game, so I think in this second half, man, you're going to see more explosive offensive plays, and I think it's going to be a thriller. As you see, it's 7-9 right now.
So, as a coach that's won this game before in 2019, what do you go in there and tell them? Just that at halftime, say, look, okay, this is what you're seeing on there. Here's what we're going to go out and do. What do you bring to them at halftime?
Well, I mean, those certain things. I mean, it is some plays that you can't run here. I mean, you're not going to be doing any leads or stuff where you're trapping guys. So now you can go in there and get with these guys, see where they are. Even for the coaches, this is some of their first time seeing these guys in live bullet action. I mean, with the lights on, now the scoreboard is on, so it's not practice. Right. So now they can go in and make the adjustments they need to make, and they're going to come back out ready to go.
Some of the things that stood out on me, of course, the young running back, the young man Givens, that's a running back for you there at Woodlawn and Baton Rouge, had a solid first half carrying the football as well. But these guys that are running, I think I was most impressed out of the West team's number 13, Micheal Butler out of Magnolia, just a big, solid bruising running back.
Right, man. Ran the ball well. I think that team, all three running backs ran the ball well. But yeah, I mean he ran the ball, kept them in good down and on distance. You saw they was getting first downs, and those are the things that you're looking for to get the offense rolling, get those big guys, confidence up high. Right. And I think they're going to just lean on that going into the second half too as well.
Two quarterbacks that made a difference, Tydre Malone out of Jonesboro Hodge, and these Jonesboro Hodge players have been solid on both sides of the football. But Tydre Malone and Whitehead Williams Jr., not to take anything away from the other quarterbacks, but those two seem to be able to get out and make things happen when the pocket collapses and run and do things with their feet.
Right. Well, I've seen those guys throughout this whole season, and those are the things that they've been able to do for their teams, and that's why they was able to go deep in the playoffs, both of those teams, Jonesboro Hodge and General Trash. So, I mean, those guys have been making those plays. That's why they're here. I mean, because they can make those plays, and not just in the pocket. They can extend plays, as you've seen, still get first downs, and do what they need to keep that offense rolling.
Defensively, St. Aug's Joshua Ford Alexander out of, as we said, out of St. Aug has been really solid throughout there. We've seen a couple other players, Justin Callahan, Landon Pike defensively. Again, Justin Callahan, Jonesboro Hodge. Right. These small schools. And this is what, when you and Andy and the folks that have been a part of this, you wanted to give a voice to some of those guys that may not have that voice from these smaller schools. Well, they're out on display, and they're showing that today.
Correct. Ever since I've been with Gridiron, it was kind of built on those small town, teams and communities that wasn't getting a whole lot of attention, but they have players there, and that's what we're trying to shine that light on. Obviously, man, we got guys from all over the state, but when you start talking about those places and you starting to see those, not only them getting noticed, but now you're starting to see them making those deep runs in the playoffs, and that's what we're here for, to give those guys the exposure that they deserve.
Indeed it is. I take a look as we sit high above into Strawberry Stadium in southeastern Louisiana at Hammond. And I just look at this sea of fans that are here. I know you and Andy and all of those involved in here have to be pleased. I think the count was somewhere over 3,000 fans in attendance today.
Correct. I think this whole side holds about 3,500, and as you can see, it's about 7/8 full right now. So I mean, everybody I think came out to support some of the the guys they've seen all year long, and not just this year, for the last 4 years. So they wanted to come out and that's. And these guys said it all week as we were interviewing them and talking to them. This their last time to be able to play for their high school. They got their high school helmets on, so it's a pride thing.
Oh, that's a huge point too in there, and where it's a transition because they're playing 15-minute quarters and playing where they can bring the ball out of the end zone on the kickoffs and college rules. and they've got the same uniforms on, but they're representing hometown with those helmets on,
indeed.
and that's so cool.
Yep, and you know, not only is the game like what we're doing now, the game is actually televised. So not only the fans that's here and the people that came here to support them, they you know, they've sent this link out, and people watching this all over the state, and they have getting a chance to, you know, see their guys for one last time in their helmets.
Yeah, it's been so exciting. So you as a coach, you're coaching. Let's see, because you said that the East team was going to win this game. You said that early on. I remember that in an interview that we had, and they start out. But it's 9-7 here. What adjustments now need to be made out of head coach Micheal, Clayton, and Darren Moore to get back into the lead? And then conversely, we'll ask you about Coach Devery, Henderson, and Coach Charles after that. But if you're a coach in the East, you're down by 2. What are you doing coming out?
I think they do need to establish the passing game, because, like we just said, I mean, their run game has been tremendous this first half. I mean, they only scored 7 points, but they were able to control the ball, get first downs, and if they can get that passing game going to complement that run game that they have, you're going to see even bigger runs, and then you're going to have, you know, you're going to see them be able to move the ball, and not only move it but score points.
That's right, and that's one thing that I'll say that the West defense was able to hold on to, because the East starts their first 3 or 4 possessions in plus territory. Over there. And when you can hold a team to just 7 points, well, you saw when it shifted and they were starting in minus territory, they weren't getting down the field into the end zone. So that West defense is solid. What do you tell them that allows them to go in there? And Ruiz has the 3 field goals, including the 51-yarder, although there was no rush. It might have been blocked if it was in regular season. But what do you tell the West team in there, because they're pretty solid?
Right. I just think they got to get that continuity down. Like I said, I mean, their defense, they've been playing, like you said, they've had their back against the wall, and they've been holding up. But I think they need to get that offense going, and I think we're going to see, like we said earlier, I think we're going to see more, you know, time and getting plays. I think that first half they spent, you know, Ethan Fry hit 2 or 3 guys right in the hands, and it was just drop balls. It was just drop balls. So if they can pick those things up and you know, make those routine plays that should be routine, because we've seen them make them all year long, these guys, and I think that we're going to see even more points from the West team.
Well, Coach Marcus Randall, you've answered every question that we threw at you. You did a wonderful job on that.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you coming up here and everything that you're doing for this Gridiron football and the partnership that we have now with you for 446 Sports and BWS Sports. Man, we're about to change the way that high school sports is brought to people in Louisiana and across the country. So thank you very much.
Man, appreciate you.
There you go.
All right.
We're going to take a break here before things get going for the second half. You are watching the Gridiron Football. It is powered by Flying Ghost Productions. Field goals from Alonzo Ruiz out of Columbia, Louisiana, by way of Caldwell Parish High School. Long way to go. We appreciate Marcus Randall for making his way up here at halftime, and that interview, I think, went about as well as it could. So a big thanks out to Woodlawn of Baton Rouge head coach and executive with the Gridiron Football group that is here, and so grateful to have partnered up with those guys and what's going to happen in the future. 2022, just the future starts as soon as this game is wrapped up, and we'll be working on 2022. But to get us through the second half of this, it is longtime partner and future mayor of the city of Pineville, Rich Dupree.
Thank you, Doug. The only thing we're running for right now is to see who's going to be our MVPs on offense and defense. And again, I echo what my partner Doug Gann was saying. You know, having Marcus Randall on and hearing his excitement, and just visiting off microphone for a few moments with the founder of this Gridiron All-Star Bowl game. In Andy Bryson, and just their excitement of the attendance here today. The weather's been great. I mean, all the events they've done all week has just come off so well. And again, you got to say thank you to the great sponsors that help make it possible. And we say thank you to Ultimate Apparel as well as is University Donuts Tangipahoa Tourism, which is a part of their Tangipahoa Parish CVB. Our good friends, Coach Darren Moore, who's one of the head coaches here. He also has something called Procom coaching headsets. I believe he placed about 40 of them with, or at least with 40 different schools this past football season. So again, a great wireless opportunity for these coaches. Also community partners, North Oaks Health System, and Acadian Ambulance Service. We are ready to start the second half, as it will be the gold-clad visitors on the scoreboard. The West team kicking off to the East roster in the black uniforms with the gold numbers, and it will be that aforementioned Alonzo Ruiz who will be putting a foot into it from his own 40, and away we go with the second half.
I'd have kicked it away from Jackson, but he kicks it right at him.
And Jackson takes it at the 5, up to the 10. Ball is in the air and trying to field it on the bounce, and they do. It will be number 7 for the gold coming up with that football, as we try to quickly find Colin Baptiste out of Southside High School in Youngsville, Louisiana, was the man on the spot to bring that football out. Once it popped up in the air, it was just loose.
Look, we talked at halftime for Opelousas Catholic's Landon Pike. He came up and put the helmet straight on the football that created that fumble, and he is working to cement himself for a defensive MVP in this one. He has been all over the field.
So again, coming out of the halftime where the West was kicking off to the East puts the ball on the turf at Strawberry Stadium, and the West comes up with an opportunity inside the red zone. Is that the Strawberry Zone?
No, it's
That's
not.
right.
It's
Okay.
the red zone. It's absolutely not.
Just thought I'd ask. Back to pass. Ethan Fry's got a man and throws it behind the sliding guy into second base. And, boy, the receiver had went down into a sliding mode, and Ethan just could not hit him. And, unfortunately, incomplete pass. And I say unfortunately because the West had him wide open. But Fry not able to hit number 29 on the intended receiver. That is a guy that's been playing both ways, Cadian Kindler out of Longwood, Florida. Fry calling for the football. Back to pass. Ethan again got a man diving forward, making the catch at the 11-yard line. Nice pitch and catch.
JT Turner, the catch over there on the side. That prior play was shaken up. The timing was off on it because of the pressure by Thomas Cagle coming off of that defensive end spot. Didn't want to fail to mention that young man from Kenner, Louisiana, and Kenner Discovery. 2
receivers on each side. It's been Ethan Fry passing their way down to third down. Back to pass again. Fry pumps now, looks. Fry looking, got some running room. Fry's going to throw it to number 23 at the 10. 5 barrels his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Dinchless Jeter from Bel Air High School in Baton Rouge lowered the shoulder and trucked the would-be tackler for the touchdown.
Wow, is all I can say. Jeter's got a fumble recovery on the day, and now that touchdown reception. And that play was made by the elusiveness of Ethan Fry, but then instantly switched over to Jeter as he just barreled his way into the end zone. First touchdown of the day for this West squad.
Timeout coming up after the extra point. Number 10 puts it through the uprights, and it is good. And the West now has 16 unanswered points to take a 16-7 lead, converting that fumble for a touchdown. Back after this timeout, West 16, East 7 here on Flying Ghost Productions.
From Kentwood to Manchac.
From Beatico to Wilma, we're back in business.
And yes, we're open. Come enjoy Tangipahoa Parish.
Our gift shops are stocked.
Our restaurants are ready.
Our museums,
our gyms and our sports parks
are now open.
Tangipahoa Parish is open, so plan to visit here.
Wow, right off the bat, the West converts an East fumble on the kickoff. They recover inside the 20, and Ethan Fry with the scramble pass out into the flat to Dinchlas Jeter from Bel Air out of Baton Rouge, and the 5'7", 181-pound running back was at the one and lowered that helmet and shoulder and went on into the end zone. Number 10 kicking it off. It'll be fielded at the 8-yard line. Returned by Jackson up to the 20 and brought down, holding on to that football as we see players flying after the tackle.
Things getting a little bit chippy out of this. And go back to that last drive that started on the fumble recovery. So if this holds up and you see how the West was won, then you're going to find out that it was from the West has won from plays like that. They have been initially have swarmed to the football, and we've still got to pick a defensive MVP out of this. It's going to be difficult because this West team is so solid from top to bottom.
No doubt about that. So now with 15, make it 16 unanswered points, how does the West respond? How does the East respond to this shot to the jaw? Quarterback back to pass, Dalton Biggs. Biggs now rolling out. Biggs firing complete at the 27-yard line, but not a lot on it from a gain standpoint, as the receiver had to come back to try to help his quarterback out, and he is a little slow getting up. Matter of fact, the official is going to whistle it, trying to get me a number there of the receiver and actually it wasn't the receiver that's down, it's the defensive player that is down over on the West sideline. So an injury timeout on the field after what was a 1-yard gain, maybe 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
That's number 40, Rich, that was down on there, and he was in on that. Javion Mobley and number 40, Zamian Waller. Waller out of a meet, and Mobley out of one of those out of Escambia High there in Pensacola. Put all of the pressure that time on Biggs and forced him out, and then had the wherewithal to turn and make the tackle on the dump-off receiving. So great job by number 40, Javion Mobley.
2nd down and 9 from the 26. Running back coming near side, got a block, but a linebacker comes up and takes the legs out from under number 25, Joshua Ray from Mandeville, Lakeshore High. It is a 1-yard, maybe 2-yard gain, make it 3rd down. Well, they're going to give him all the way out to the I wish the down marker would move a little quicker for me. It's 3rd down and 4.
Landon Pike, again, just continues to dominate defensively for this team. Again, the 5'11", 187-pound senior out of Opelousas Catholic there in Opelousas, Louisiana, just continuing.
3rd down and 4. Quarterback, 2-step drop, fires complete out to the 39-yard line. It is a 1st down on the pass completion to T.J. Bell from Mangum High School. Nice pitch and catch, 2-step drop, fired the ball, and T.J. was there to bring it in.
Noah James out of Bel Air High in Baton Rouge making that play, coming up defensively, but a great pitch and catch there from Biggs.
1st down and 10 for the East as they try to get up off the mat, if you will, from a couple of haymakers from the West. Pitch out quickly, running back cuts back in now at the 40, breaks a tackle, falls forward to the 45, maybe the 46-yard line. Again, nice job of running there, this time by Ladarius Wheeler.
Hayden Cormier, Ascension Episcopal, comes up and makes that stop. But good rhythm that is coming in. And when we talked to Coach Randall, he said, look, the first half, feeling out momentum, adrenaline, all of that. At halftime, they get their guys settled, come out there and said, okay, this is what we're going to work on. And those East coaches have seen some things defensively that they're working on here as an offensive unit.
East squad looking at 2nd down and 4 after making 2nd down and 3 after the 7-yard 1st down pickup. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left, stepping up, firing, got his man down there, number 5. Oh, he did not see it coming, Doug. Number 15, Sean Haynes from Rayville had his man beat. I don't know if he lost the ball in the lights, but it fell just past him, but there was no one that was going to touch him if he'd have been able to catch it.
No, and he ran right between two of the West DBs that time, just sprinted right through. Ball was put on the money and unable to get there, and that's going to bring up third down and short. So we'll see if this East team is able to continue. They've got to do something to stop this 16-point run that the West team is on.
And what a nice toss by Dalton Biggs from Escambia High out of Pensacola, Florida. 6'4", 190, and put a lot of air underneath that pass. Two receivers right and left. On third down and 4. Quickly got it over the head of the intended receiver, number 7 out of the backfield, Malik Patterson from Varnado High in Varnado. Is that Varnado or Varnado, Louisiana? Varnado. None of the above.
I got you. That's what I'm here for you.
Varnado. Okay.
Look, that interior, that three-man front of this West team of Mobley, Amory Edwards there out of Tioga, and Zamian Waller out of Amite has just played so solid. Amory Edwards has really shown out in this game tonight.
Good job there. It forces, after a couple of first down pickups by the East, the West holds and forces the punt here. I don't want to say turnover just yet, but as they get ready to punt the ball away, Ruben Varela on to punt the ball for the East. 8:12 remaining third quarter. Not a deep kick. It's going to bounce at the 30 and be downed by the East at the 30-yard line. So that is where the West will take over with a 16-7 lead. Exactly 8 minutes remaining in quarter number 3.
It is, and that West defense has continued, Rich, to put their offense since the first quarter of the game when the defenses had to hold in when they, again, were in minus territory. These guys, this defensive squad from the West has just been dominant in this one.
Let's see where we go here with the East as they hand off, or rather the West, right side. Across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Nice running there by number 13, Micaiah Butler out of Magnolia in Shreveport. Picks up 8, second down and 2 quickly. Micaiah again cuts back. Micaiah 40 to the 42, 43-yard line. Nice job of quarterback Ethan Fry getting that and helping Butler with that cutback.
Both of these coaches said they were going to rotate a lot of players in that first half and start to see who settled in and earned playing time in the second half. Micaiah Butler has done just that.
Oh, to the left side and picked up by Fry. And Fry just having to scramble for his life, if you will. Will lose the ball back to the 31 from that line of scrimmage at the 43. So a 12-yard, an 8-yard loss back inside the 40 at the 36.
Credit Jared Barron out of Delta Charter there in Faraday, Louisiana, for getting the sack on that one, albeit it was just Fry having to run for his life after the errant snap.
Yeah, went to the left of Fry. The running back was on his right hip as he is now. Had he been on the other side, it might have looked more like a direct snap. Fry rolls out. Fry can fire the ball. He does, but incomplete. It was intended in heavy traffic for the tight end out of Rose Pine, his tight end, Cole Donahue. But there were 3 defenders right there ready to crunch Donahue. One of them could have picked it off if they'd have paid attention.
Indeed. Fry trying to find his comfort zone, and he has that in Donahue, the big tight end that's there with him. I mean, how can you not like going to a target that's 6'2", 205 and can catch passes out of that tight end spot?
And someone that you're so familiar with, that you've played with most of your high school career, more than likely, as these are both seniors from Rose Pine.
Now he split out at the wideout nearest us.
3 receivers right. Donahue to the left, looking downfield, got a man there, caught up in traffic, but 5 yards beyond the intended receiver. And it will be a 3 and out. But no, they got the first down initially. And,
much success running the ball in those first 3 plays.
Right.
They were able to run the ball
with Micheal Butler.
With Micheal Butler, get the first down. Then comes the errant snap, puts them 7 yards behind the chains. Here comes the pressure, resulting as a 4th down.
So on to punt the ball away. Number 10, Alonzo Ruiz. 6:15 remaining third quarter. It is West 16 unanswered points to the East 7 as Ruiz gets an end over end that will bounce and get a little bit of a goal bounce and be downed inside the 35 at the 32. That's where the East will try to answer. It should be Wydett Williams' time as they've been rotating every possession at quarterback between Wydett Williams and Dalton Biggs for the East.
When we were out there talking to some of these coaches just a little bit earlier, and we spoke with Coach J.T. James Taylor out of Rayville, who incidentally is on the West squad in this one and is 2-0. He was on the winning team of the side of the first 2. He said, look, you've got to rotate players in and out. You've got to rotate players in and out so that these defenses stay fresh because, quite frankly, it's been several weeks since a lot of them have played. Christmas was there, a lot of time to sit and eat, Thanksgiving, things like that.
First down and 10 as they hand off sweeping number 5, Amani Givens. Boy, I love watching Amani Givens run. 12, 13-yard pickup for Amani Givens around the left side. And it'll be a first down on the run by Amani Givens.
Yeah, Amani Givens up near 50 yards rushing in this game. He has been the workhorse for that East team carrying the football, but the man that has the touchdown takes his spot as his shoe fall off. That's Trent Johnson.
2 receivers on each side. Here comes Monty to the near side, cut back 50, 45, 40, and check the running back. That's 35, Trenton Johnson from Salmon into the ball game. So a little bit of lightning there as we were watching them both do a wonderful job. But that time it was Trenton Johnson getting them inside the 35 to the 34. 2 receivers each side for quarterback Wydett Williams. He is going to give it again. This is 35-30. Cut back 27-yard line. Trenton Johnson, 5'11", 190. And he will now tag team out with Amani Givens as Givens comes back in. 4:47 remaining in quarter number 3. West 16, East 7.
It's a good combination of running between Amani Givens and Trenton Johnson. Trenton Johnson out of Salmon High School in Slidell has the only touchdown of the night for the East squad and is a great compliment to the way that Amani Givens runs the football.
2 receivers on each side. Back to pass is Wydett Williams being chased. Rush. He gets away. Gets it to the dump man there in Givens. Givens running toward that right sideline. Gets down inside the 25 to the 21-yard line. And I think they're going to actually mark him at the 20. So it is a first down on a busted play, but Amani Givens making the best out of it.
Well, it almost looks like they had set up the screen on that one to counteract the pressure that front 4 now of the West team has been getting in. And it was just great job of Wydett Williams having to roll out of the pocket because instantly that pressure comes straight in from the front 4 and was able to dump it off to Givens, and Givens get the 12 on the for the first.
As the East is trying to potentially put themselves, if you will, back in this ball game. And the quarterback says, I need a timeout. I didn't get the play. Coach Moore calls the timeout. They'll come over and talk about it as it is first down in at the 20-yard line. We'll take a quick timeout here. 3:35 left in the third quarter. West leads East 16-7, but East in the red zone here on the 2021 Gridiron Football All-Star Bowl game on Flying Ghost Productions. the East did jump on it early here, 7-0. I got to play along with the music here, come on. And but the West certainly has come back to take a 16-7 lead, 16 unanswered points. However, the East is knocking on the door. They're at the red zone as it is 1st down and 10 from the 20. Back to pass on the fake. Now out into the flat. Ooh, and a hit as ball brought in by 35, Trenton Johnson. But Johnson got knocked off his feet pretty quick.
He did, in fact, Rich. Number 47 was there defensively, and that was Trajan Freeman out of Capitol High in Baton Rouge. Just came up and put a lick on him there.
Laid a little bit of lumber on him, but 2-yard pickup nonetheless. 2nd down and 2 inside the red zone at the 18. 2nd down and 8. 2 receivers on each side for quarterback Wydett Williams Jr. The back is Trenton Johnson. Lines up in the pistol, back to pass. Looking right side, got his man. Oh, nice job. Pass intended for number 17, Sean Haynes.
Yeah, good pass breakup by Justin Callahan. That's another one of those Jonesboro Hodge players that have been so solid in this one. And you know that Coach Blankenship is proud of his guys out there for the work that they're doing from Jonesboro Hodge. Great play.
But if he hadn't gotten that hand in there, Sean Haynes may have been able to take that and cut up and take it into the end zone. But if ands and buts were, well,
Joshua Ray now in there at running back, so keep an eye on him. First time, or not many times that we've heard Joshua Ray called tonight.
3rd down and 8 from the 18. Quarterback looking, intercepted at the 5 to the 10, back 20. Tackled at the 30-yard line, but what an INT near the end zone by number 5 of the Gold, a man that we've called a few times tonight, Justin Callahan from Jonesboro Hodge.
Just had to pass break up on the prior play and was seeing that Williams was looking to that side and looked to that side the entire way, and he's able just to drift over, see which receiver he was going to, stepped in the passing lane and got that one. Textbook defensive back play by Justin Callahan.
And that certainly takes the wind out of the East sails as they were marching toward the end zone to get it back within a one-score game. Instead, coming back now, pass out to number 14. Somehow slipped a tackle, the initial tackle across the 30 to the 32-yard line on the pass completion to 14, Joseph Saltery.
Kyle Jones Jr. in there playing some defense. Now he's listed on here as a wide receiver. He was in on that stop as well as number 11, which is Joshua Ford Alexander. So you got guys that are the athletes out there playing both ways.
Quarterback is number 8, Tydre Malone. Malone back to pass, right side, got his man, trying to shake a tackler at the 37-yard line, but brought down after making the pass completion, hoping that maybe he could juke the defender. Pass complete to number 1, J.T. Turner.
I like the way that Malone handles the pocket back there. This West team needs to convert, but you see the East team is starting to bring some guys in that normally play offense. They're the way they're listed, and they're out there contributing defensively.
2 receivers each side for Tydre Malone. Back in the backfield with him, I believe that's Justin Doyle, 34. Handoff to Doyle, breaks a tackle at the 35 to the 40. Justin Doyle, 240 pounds of him, just busting through the line. We've talked about him earlier in the game. 6 foot 240, the heaviest of the running backs by at least 45 pounds. And he's got a lot of muscle, gets that first down as the defense for the East substitutes out. 2 receivers each side. The back quarterback pumps now, fires, complete to the man. That's Turner, 50, Turner, 40, Turner to the burner, down the sideline, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, West All-Stars.
Yeah, JT Turner, we talked about him in the pregame on there too, that he was one of the speedier guys on this team. Caught the little out, turned the corner, and he was gone, and he's done that many a time for Montgomery High School.
Just a little 3-yard dump out to the slot man, and then let him get a lot of yak, and he yacked his way down that right sideline. Every step he took, he picked up a little more speed, Doug, and took it into the end zone to give the West now 22 unanswered points as we await the extra point from Alonzo Ruiz. Timeout coming up. Placement kicks on the way, and it is good. Back in 30 seconds, it is the West 23, the East 7, here on Flying Ghost Productions. Glad to have you with us here for the 2021 Girdiron Football All-Star Bowl game. I'm Rich Dupree along with Doug Gann. 446 Sports teaming up with Flying Ghost Productions bring you audio video of this All-Star Classic here as number 10 Ruiz puts a foot into it. It'll bounce actually at the 8 and then get by the receiver rather, and they'll blow him down as he went to a knee at the 8-yard line. But what a mistake there by letting that oblong object bounce first of all, and then it didn't bounce his way.
No, and you relate that to a middle infielder that on a ground ball sits back and lets it come to him instead of going up and playing that one. You got to come up and catch that before it makes that bounce, because a ball that's got 2 pointed ends, you don't know where it's going to go. And now you've got 11 guys running down the field to tackle you. And
they've built up some speed running down that field.
Indeed they have. And now the wheel's dangerously close to falling off of this one in a 2-touchdown third quarter.
And again, the East had a 7-0 lead as we close in on the last 27 seconds of this third quarter. Standing at his own 3. Back to pass. Complete. Out to number 15 on the completion. Sean Haynes bringing it in, and a nice job of working out of his own end zone did Dalton Biggs.
Yeah, Biggs standing tall back there. The youngster out of Pensacola making that play, and crucial play out of the shadow of your own end zone.
Again, back to pass. Now stepping up. Got some running room. Instead, he is going to cut back 30, 35, and will slide at the 35-yard line. So smart quarterback there, and he's got the first down. Go ahead and slide that. It will be the end of the third quarter of play. We will take a timeout and then head to the fourth. It is the West 23, East 7, the 2021 Gridiron Football All-Star Bowl on Flying Ghost Productions.
From Kentwood to Manchac.
From Beatico to Wilma, we're back in business.
And yes, we're open. Come enjoy Tangipahoa Parish.
Our gift shops are stocked.
Our restaurants are ready.
Our museums,
our gyms, and our sports parks
are now open.
Tangipahoa Parish is open, so plan to visit here.
Back at Strawberry Stadium at Southeastern Louisiana University. Beautiful campus here in Hammond, Louisiana. Members of the Southland Conference. I remember the Lions being nationally ranked as far as football this past season. And again, just it's been a wonderful venue for us. We're on the 5th floor of the press box here.
Kind of like a lounge area is what this is, or one of those big suites, because it opens up into a protected section. I could stay at Strawberry Stadium forever.
You could stay in Strawberry Fields forever, huh?
No, Stadium.
Stadium, I'm sorry. Out in the flat near side, pass complete and running over the tackler, number 8, Jarlian Newsom.
Yeah, we'll make the switch over and change as they're going the different direction. Great job of running there that time by Jarlian Newsom.
Out of General Trask, Lake Providence, we mentioned one of 4 players on this squad. Now I know why they chartered a couple of buses to bring friends to come see the General Trask seniors. Pass complete, firing, but incomplete as the receiver had fallen to the ground, intended for number 80, Tajon Forbes. Incomplete, but Dalton Biggs, we talk about that arm, big arm for Mr. Biggs. Had the receiver not fallen, it would have been right there between the numbers.
Good coverage that time. Sean Malvo out of Como, we said in that Lafayette area, was over there. But, yeah, just a shot of the receiver falling, and those that need to get up if this East team is going to mount some sort of a comeback.
So, again, Biggs moves his running back Givens to the right side. He looks to the left side. This time he does complete it right at midfield on the pass completion to number 3, Avant Brown out of Rayville High. And it is a first down for the East All-Stars.
Noah James steps up and makes that tackle there. Was right on it, but just good pitch and catch from Biggs to his receiver.
And again, the East, as we have said, took the early 7-0 lead, but 23 unanswered points here on the delay to Givens. Givens 50, 45, Givens 40, Givens down the right side 30. One man to beat, and he won't beat him, but he'll get inside the red zone. Knocked out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Amani Givens taking the ball down the right side and putting the East All-Stars inside the red zone.
Yeah, close to 80 yards now for Givens in this one, and looking to get his team back in there, just putting it on the legs. But, again, that running combination, he and Johnson, has been solid, and you see Johnson back in there.
Quarterback again is Dalton Biggs out of Pensacola, Florida. High snap. He's going to delay on the handoff, but that time did not develop fast enough for Trenton Johnson. And Johnson will be brought down at, actually will lose a yard on the play back to the 15-yard line.
Amory Edwards out of Tioga with that stop in there. And that's one of the things we've said that have led this West defense is that front line across there that's got on it Amory Edwards, Javion Mobley is on there, number 50 Zamian Waller in there as well.
Second down and 11 from the 15. Second and 11, a bad snap, handled one-handed, throwing toward the corner of the end zone at the pylon, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, but I'm still amazed that Biggs even got that ball away. He caught it to his right side with one hand, gathered it back in to try to find the laces as the rush was coming, throwing off his back foot, and he still almost had the touchdown catch.
Definitely 4-down territory down here as we're late into the fourth quarter, late into the game, 12.5 to go in this one. But you don't have to go out there and get all 10 yards on this one or get into the end zone. Just get you a chunk of it and make yourself.
Back to pass, quick out, near side pass, complete on the rub route, number 80 into the end zone. I believe it is, yes, a touchdown.
Yeah, that was beautiful. The receiver turns around. They kind of rub the one receiver off. A great job by number 8 in there offensively, Girdiron Newsom, and sprung the way from Tajon Forbes.
Yeah, Forbes out of Bogalusa. Was a very nice recipient of the rub, and we saw him giving massages downstairs a little bit earlier there.
Those chairs are the greatest things ever.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't know because we didn't get to use them.
The technology, and I got 7 brochures to bring back with me. Those Beamer chairs are phenomenal. He said 8 minutes a day in that, twice a day you need to lay in that chair.
We'll keep the doctor away.
I was like, look, I'm good for that. I can do that.
So going for the 2-point conversion here before the timeout. Here comes the running back trying to stretch it out. He won't get there. Flag on the horse collar, though, as number 47 denied. That was Trajan Freeman out of Capitol High, but he committed a capital offense.
That was the only way to get Gibbons. He reaches up to grab Gibbons and just hold on. Otherwise, Gibbons gets into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Now you'll move it half the distance, and they'll retry this point, trying to get this to a 8-point game.
A single-score game. Personal foul. Horse collar on the gold, on the west. Half the distance.
What a game this is turning into. If the East can continue, come out and turn this. Look, it's been the second and third quarters belong to the West. The first and now the first portion of the fourth have belonged to the East, so we'll see what goes on here. This 2-point conversion is crucial, to say the least. This would get it 23 to 15.
All right, here we go with 10 seconds on the play clock. Quarterback is going to hand off, cut back to the 2, but he will not get there, so it remains a 2-score game. Back after this timeout, it is West 23, but the East scores for the first time since the first quarter. It is West 23, East 13 on Flying Ghost Productions.
West has 20. West has 20.
Back to Strawberry Stadium at Southeastern Louisiana University. Rich Dupree along with Gann providing you your play-by-play in color. And while you may not always want to know how the sausage is made, I do want to tell you a big thanks. Doug Gann has done a wonderful job of keeping statistics during the game for us. A color analyst normally is only involved with, adding color to the play-by-play call, and a lot of times identifying the defensive tacklers as it would be. But because we don't have the full complement of statistics and a SID, keeping stats and so forth, Doug has had to improvise and do that as well, because we have to select MVPs at the end of this All-Star game. So, again, a big shout-out to Doug Gann and what he's done in keeping all of that in place, keeping us sounding like we know what we're doing. As the ball goes into the end zone and out of the back of the end zone, it will be a touchback.
Well, many thanks there, Rich.
Yes, sir.
And look, a lot of it is just pure necessity, because they said, hey, we need you guys to name the offensive and defensive MVPs of both teams. And I was like, well, okay. But in a tightly contested one like this, I mean, it's give and it's take, and you've got some opportunities on here. We've seen some big plays, so it may or may not agree with us in these, and if you don't, just contact Flying Ghost Productions and complain to them about it. not 446 Sports. If you agree with it, then give us a follow and a like.
There you go. They're going to cut us off here. As Ethan Fry throws, and the receiver there, but could not make the connection to number 15, tight end Caleb Vizier out of Sulphur, 6'4", 220. But what a nice target coming down the field, huh?
It is, and such big, strong, fast, wide receivers for Ethan, and just thought that he was going to be able to connect on a few more of those than he has today, but we've still got some football left in this one.
It is 2nd down and 10. Fry, play action. Quick out far side, but not one, not two, but 3 black jerseys from the East there to make sure that number 17, tight end Owen Harmon out of Iota High School, didn't go any further than he did, and he will actually lose yardage as we wait for the down marker to move so that I know exactly where we're at, as he loses 4 on that play. it will loses 5 on that play. It'll be 3rd down and 15.
Tydrick Taylor came up and made a great defensive stop there in man coverage.
Back to pass. Fry. Now Fry stepping up. Some running room. Now he's going to toss it out, but too strong for Galashaw. Just a little too close, too strong for Caleb Galashaw on the pass from Fry.
Rich, we saw in that the way that this thing, the offensive has been generated by defense. The East on the last 2 possessions have really been solid on defense, and now dropping back is one of those candidates for the offensive MVP from the East. That is number 88, Austin Jackson, the 4th out of North Shore, and who's just been a thrill to watch in this one.
Gets the football away. Good kick this time. Bounces at the 47 and will take a little bit of a gold bounce for the West team as they'll down it inside the 40 at the 39-yard line.
And that's where the East will grab it again. Again, due to that 2-point conversion failed attempt, they've got to get down there, get in the end zone, and then get it back again. It's a 2-score game here from Strawberry Stadium, Southeastern Louisiana University, out of the Southland Conference on there. Again, big thanks to Ultimate Apparel for supplying these really beautiful Saints-themed, Saints-esque uniforms in honor of Micheal, Clayton, and Devery Henderson that are patrolling the sidelines as VIP head coaches. University Donuts, Tangipahoa Tourism, and, of course, Coach Darren Moore and the folks at Procom Coaching Headsets. Their community partners, North Oaks Health Systems, and as always, that you'll see at almost every game around the state of Louisiana, the fine folks at Acadian Ambulance Service.
1st down and 10 for the East All-Stars. Back to pass, number 10, Wydett Williams. And now he's going to have to tuck it and run and pull down from behind as he no gain as he got back to the line of scrimmage to prevent the sack.
You know, we've talked all game long about number 50, Zamian Waller, out of state champion, Amite, Louisiana. They knocked off Manny in that 2A state championship game. And, you know, we talked to Coach from Amite a little bit earlier, and he was just excited about the way the things in the program was going.
2nd down and 10 after the quarterback scramble there. 2 receivers both sides. Wydell hits number 2 at the 44-yard line as a ball brought in by Patrick Williams II out of Wassman High School in Monroe. Enjoyed visiting with his dad, Frank Williams, earlier today up here in the press box. He is assistant coach at Wassman and the dean of students at Wassman High School.
A lot of great football out of that northeast Louisiana area. Wassman and Neville and the West Monroes, and those guys just continue to churn out solid football players that spend a lot of time playing on Saturdays.
2 receivers both sides. Now again, the rush gets there, scrambles out to the right side, just looking, and now he's going to get away from 1 tackle and then brought down aggressively by big number 50.
Yeah, once again, Zamian Waller is just everywhere. That front defensive unit for them, and sounding like a broken record, though, of Mobley, of Edwards, of Waller, of Simmons was in there. It's just continued pressure has been put on these guys, and you got to get a timeout if you're that East squad and think about going for it again. You got 9 minutes to go, Rich. You absolutely, there's no way you kick it away here.
No, So they, Coach Moore, bringing everyone over. It will be 4th and 6 from the 43-yard line of the East.
And again, don't forget, coming up immediately following this contest is the awarding of our championship trophy to the winning head coach. And then, of course, our offensive and defensive MVPs from both squads. And, Rich, it's still up in the air.
That's the way someone can snatch this one away here. Again, East opened up the game with the first score of the game came in their 3rd possession in the first quarter after getting the ball on the west side of the field for 3 straight possessions. The East was able to capitalize and take a 7-0 lead, but it had been a second and third quarter dominance by the West up until now. On 4th down, and that quarterback loses his footing and is sacked behind the line of scrimmage as Javion Mobley again was a big man on campus from Pensacola.
He was. He and Chris Simmons. I've been so impressed by the work on the interior line of Mobley. Another one of those Escambia High players out of there, and what a great job coming over here and playing against some of the best talent.
Wow. And, again, we talked with the defensive coordinator earlier this afternoon talking about bringing those kids. He said it was, a 2.5-hour drive?
Yeah, about 3 hours, and they were over here.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, we drove that far coming from Louisiana.
No doubt.
But now some of that was that traffic around Baton Rouge, too, getting in. And so there's that. But, you expect that anytime you're coming in. He said he hopped up on the interstate, and they were here in no time.
Right. So I think he brought 4 players,
right.
Including the quarterback we've been talking about in Dalton Biggs. And then, of course, that big tackle that was just made there by Mobley. Interesting, too, that you've got these kids playing on different teams. A couple of them are on the West, a couple are on the East. So
yeah, very, very, very interesting. But, you get over here and you just say, okay, this is what's going to happen with it.
As the East takes over, West takes over the ball.
That's a fumble. Yeah, that ball was thrown backwards on there, so the ball should be marked right where.
And I believe the White Hats attempting to do that.
Yeah, that should be a loss of 7 on that play. And Coach Moore and everybody's pointing that out. That ball was thrown behind the line of scrimmage clearly. And that's where they're going to mark it. They're going to mark a loss of 7 on that.
Thank goodness, because I wasn't sure the White Hat was 100% sure he was asking for help from the official that's over by Coach Moore. And
Coach Moore was going to tell him exactly what we were telling him. And if that ball stays in bounds, that could have been crucial.
The East could have picked it up, but instead it went out of bounds on the West sideline. So here goes the West again now after losing 7 on that. 2nd down and 17. Ball moved back to the 42-yard line. 2nd and 17 for Tydre Malone, who is the quarterback. Malone back to pass, timing pattern down the sideline. And as they were fighting for it, number 3 trying to come down with it, Devontae Mosey. And Mosey out of Jonesboro Hodge could not, as the coverage was blanketed there, and good coverage by the East.
Yeah, Tydrick Taylor out of Hammond High Magnet right here in Hammond, Louisiana, back in coverage there, just in the back pocket of that West receiver. 8:10 to go in this All-Star Gridiron Bowl. 23-13, West with the lead.
Fry handing off, slips as number 22 with that cutback, Dylan Lawson from Winfield High School in Winfield, Louisiana, gets a couple of yards back. But I noted this earlier. They'll bring Fry in on the 4th down, I guess because of the arm, but he didn't have a chance there to throw. And instead, it'll be a punting situation back the other way as the West will try to flip the field here against the East. 88 is back. Austin Jackson, the 4th. Another one of those MVP candidates. As no rush gets the football away. It'll bounce at the 5, at the 4. They will, afraid to let it bounce anymore. They'll down it at the 4-yard line. So that is where the East will take over with 7:15 remaining in this bowl game.
This is what you love to see in these games, an opportunity. And the East jumps out and gets their touchdown, and then a string of 23 straight points made it 23-7. Answering back, unable to get the 2-point conversion, has us here with the East down by 2 scores. The West defense has been their strong point in this one. Their defense has set up their offense. And here we'll see if that defensive line is able to get something going. But you've got the big quarterback in there, no pun intended, Dalton Biggs from Escambia, that's in there out of the southeastern Louisiana end zone. See what he can do here with 7:15.
Standing in the S in the end zone of SLU, fires out, complete far side up to the 12-yard line.
See Richard Hebert also doing some work with this gridiron football, walking the bleachers and trying to get everybody up into this one.
Pass, by the way, complete to 15, Sean Haynes. 2nd down and 2. Quick fire complete to the running back at the 15, and then upended after he gets the first down as Amani Givens got to 3 yards, a tough 3 yards, but got 3.
Yeah, got the first down, and that's the key. So now they'll start the clock after the ball has been set ready for play. And the yard markers goes up. 6.5 to go now. I've got to move with some more tempo. Some time is running off of this. There's down under 20 seconds on the play clock, and you'd like to see a little more tempo out of this East squad that needs 2 touchdowns, or 2 scores, mind you.
Back to pass. Now stepping up, running with it. Now is firing, and just over as he was slipping, the quarterback Dalton Biggs just firing over the intended receiver, number 8, Jalarian Newsom out of General Trask, and it will be 2nd down.
Hayden Cormier again on the pressure, and Biggs having to throw the ball over a jumping Cormier that has just been pesky all night, as has that entire West defense. Telling you, the trenches, we talked to all of the coaches, and they talked about the offensive and defensive lines being a key, and that's definitely been the case tonight.
Quick out again, near side pass complete to Patrick Williams, the 2nd, but Williams, who is 6'6", brings it in, but not able to get much yards after catch. Picks up 3, 3rd down and 7.
Noah James has been very solid as a tackler out of Baton Rouge, 5'10", 160. You've not seen him miss any tackles out of that corner position and on a strong, big receiver like Williams most of the night.
So 3rd down and 7 for the East. Back to pass, blitz coming. Quarterback gets away. Biggs fires, incomplete. Stops the clock with 5:24 left. Pass incomplete. And again, an opportunity, Doug. We keep saying the Gold, if they're going to get back in it, they're down by 2 scores. The defense is keeping them in it, but the offense has got to give them some reward for that.
Right, and it's just difficult. You look at that punt, you're starting the ball inside, and it's so tough to go 95 yards against regular high school teams, but a team that's made up of all-stars on there. And the offensive line was giving time that time from the East. They've done great on this possession, but when you can pin back and look at that pass, it's tough.
Back to pass, and again, he running for his life is the quarterback, Dalton Biggs. Biggs firing downfield, but the intended receiver nowhere near the pass. And again, the East comes up short, as it will be the West who will take the ball over on the East side of the field.
Look, and I'm not sure how it is, but you see head coach Justin Charles out about 8 yards into the field, looking over at the west side or the east side and giving them a big fist bump over there. These coaches are competitive as these guys are.
Oh, no doubt.
It's just, you hear the word fraternity and brotherhood thrown around. These coaches, these players are going to remember this week their entire lives.
5:10 remaining, and could put a cherry on top of this ice cream sundae for the gold-clad West All-Stars. Handoff 13, running downhill inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Nice running again for the number 13, Micaiah Butler from Shreveport.
He's given them the big yardage that they've needed to go in there and get these. I'm so impressed with the running today of Micheal Butler.
2nd down and 4 after the 6-yard Butler pickup. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. It's going to be Butler again. This right side ball is loose. It's picked up and recovered by the East. The East is not dead yet, as 4:30 remains, and the East got what they needed, a turnover from the West, and the East will now bring the offense back onto the field.
Ricky Jarvis, the third, with that fumble recovery. He joins Logan Potter with fumble recoveries on the day. And I must have announcer jinxed poor Butler there.
Yes, you did.
I put him on that, talking about how well he was running. But it's good pressure by that East defense, Rich, and we've seen this East defense here in the 4th quarter and the tail end of the 3rd quarter really been dominant.
So 4 minutes, 30 seconds still remain here in this 4th quarter. The 2nd and 3rd, the 1st and 3rd went fast. 2nd and 4th has drawn down slowly. Ball up there. Ball off the pads there. Did he catch it?
No, they're calling it incomplete at the end.
Incomplete pass that was down inside the 40 of the West. But the East.
Great job of throwing the ball. Back defensively was 31 for the West team in coverage, made a tremendous play, and that was Avante Givens.
Called that name a few times tonight as well, but normally from the offensive side.
Amani Givens is the offensive running back. Avante Givens is a young man out of Bel Air.
Again, nice long throw by Wydett Williams, but the intended receiver, number 17, August Banks Jr., out of George Washington Carver out of New Orleans, not able to run under it.
Joshua Ray making his way back in. Williams going to come to the sideline. Looks like they're going to get a timeout. The East team, no, they're coming over and getting some last thoughts, as they've got plenty of time on the play clock to wipe this out. But the East has got to make something happen here on 3rd down.
3rd down and 10 from the 25-yard line. 2 receivers on each side. Quarterback calls for the football. Wydett back to pass, fires, complete at the 34. They may mark him just short of the 34. It will be 4th and 2.
August Banks Jr., the recipient of that pass, but it makes this 4th down certainly manageable. One that even Williams could get with his legs if he had to scramble out of there.
Clock is scrambling as well. 3:47 left. Got to get 2 scores here. Quick substitution by the goal team, and number 10, Williams, got away and got the pass complete at the 50, at the 40, at the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. No flags on the play. Number 81 with the reception, Kyle Jones Jr., and Kyle Jones tiptoed along the west sideline, if you will, and took the East into the end zone to make it 23-19, as it's getting very interesting with plenty of time remaining.
Look, that's a player for Coach Marcus Randall and that Woodlawn and Baton Rouge team, but the play was kept alive, and the play was made by Wydett Williams out of General Trask. Goodness gracious, 23-19 in this one with the PAT pending.
Again, the PAT that would put them within a field goal of tying the game. Wow. We'll have a timeout after this kick. It is on its way, and it is good. Back in 30 seconds, 3:25 left in the ball game, and we got a ball game. West 23, East 20. Here on Flying Ghost Productions. Welcome back to Hammond, Louisiana. What a interesting turn of events here in the fourth quarter. 3:25 left, so plenty of time. But, wow, Wydette Williams with the pass to Kyle Jones Jr. And it was Lake Providence to Baton Rouge, if you will, from General Trask to Woodlawn. But what a great job there for both of these teams. Just when you thought one was out early in the game, when East kind of established itself, the West comes back, and now the East fighting their way back into the ball game. And I would not think you would be in line for an onside kick here. You got time, especially if your defense can get a stop, and here we go. Kicking it toward where nobody was, because I guess the West was expecting an onside kick.
Look, I'm telling you, that is a yard away from chaos for that West team, as everybody was up anticipating a squib or a sky kick or something, and they put it just over the head of that back line that was around the 15-yard line, and the ball checks up around the one before just getting into the end zone.
So,
wow.
So you're thinking there were a few West players going, trying to blow it on into the end zone?
Look, I'm telling you, that was near disaster for Coach Devery Henderson, Coach Justin Charles, and this West team.
That was almost one heck of an onside kick, huh?
Wow.
But instead, they have the ball at the 25, so now the defense of the East has to step up. Let's see if the West can answer on the end around. Cuts it back up the hash mark to the 30-yard line, so they pick up 5 yards on the play, as slow to get back up was the wide receiver who came around. As it is a 5-yard pickup, so it'll be second down and 5. Second down and 5 for the West team here. They got to get a stop, does the East. Have to get a stop here if they hope to even get a chance at a game-tying field goal opportunity. Calling for the football is Fry. Fry's going to hand off. They got him stopped after just a 2-yard pickup. Now it's going to be a big third down. Timeout called. Nope, no timeout. Instead, they'll let the clock roll. We're at 2:33. The East may not have any timeouts remaining. I'm not completely sure. It says they have one according to the scoreboard. So 3. It's going to be third down and a long 3. 3rd and 3. Got to get to the 35 for the first down. The ball is at the 32. If the East can stop them here. Handoff. First down for the West. And still on their feet. And it is a first down and then some, all the way out to the 44-yard line. That certainly hurts the East efforts with 1:52 remaining. They needed 3 yards for the first down. They got 7, and it is a first down and very close to putting this one away, as the East has one timeout left with 1:45 left. We're getting our MVP selections in to Gridiron Football CEO Andy Bryson, and we'll be presenting that hardware down on the field in just a few moments. But right now it's first down and 10 with 1:27 left, the clock rolling. As Fry hands off, they get number 13 in the backfield for the gold, as Micaiah Butler holds both arms around that football to hold on to it. He picks up a couple, actually gets back to the line of scrimmage, and we have a timeout as the East uses their last timeout. We'll take one as well with 1:16 left. 1:16 left. 23 for the West, 20 for the East, here on Flying Ghost Productions. Just a little over a minute away from the end of this game, barring really something bad happening. East has used their last time out, so the West with second down and 10 should be able to run this out here. 2 receivers on each side. Quarterback's going to take a knee. And again, trophy presentation as well as the MVPs, and offensive and defensive from both the East and the West. And that sealed envelope is
it's hermetically sealed, as a matter of fact. And so all of the working media that was here had votes in this. And so it came down to some things. We're going to follow the down on the field. We'll announce that as they make their announcements over the PA. We're going to do that. And again, if you agree with our selections, give us a comment. Follow us at 446 Sports. And if you don't like anything, just keep it to yourself.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Just enjoy the new year.
Yeah.
And what a game this has been as Fry takes another knee out there. And the West team is going to come out of this with a 23-20 victory, Rich. And the story here, among all of that, Coach Taylor, JT, 3-0 now as a coach. Coach James Taylor out of Rayville, 3-0.
Indeed. So ball game is over. The West, although the East made it very interesting, the West wins it 23-20. The West wins it for the gold-clad All-Star team over the East. And if that's how we were able to keep up with it most of the time, was looking at the color of their jersey. That hopefully helped you out as well as the players give the handshakes here. We'll have the presentation of the trophies here in just a few moments. Again, a great game tonight from the standpoint of the weather. Great opportunity for some of these, many of these kids playing their last high school, last competitive game, unless they're able to advance on to the collegiate level. But what a great opportunity to give them one more chance to have some tape, to be able to send to a respective college. And there are so many colleges, Doug, across the country when you think of not just Division I.
Out on the field the offensive and defensive MVPs, and we'll do that with them.
The defensive MVP for the West team, number 6, Landon.
So for the West team, offensive MVP Micaiah Butler, and defensive MVP Landon Pike. Landon Pike was defensive MVP. They'll go over to the East squad now.
The offensive MVP for the East team, number 10.
I was thinking, the quarterback, Wyatt Williams Jr., the offensive MVP for the East.
For the East team, number 34,
Ricky Jarvis III being awarded the defensive MVP of the East and offensive MVP quarterback Wyatt Williams Jr. And now they'll go down for the presentation of the championship trophy.
And the head coach gets to take that home with him?
Head coach gets to bring that home with him. We told us, we talked to Coach Marcus Randall. He won the last one in 2019. He's got it at his mother's house with a picture of him, and you can see his brother Eric, who he beat, in the background of the picture. And so he said that's sitting right in Mama's house.
There you go. Well, of course, the winning head coach will get to take that back to Alexandria with him.
In this case, it is Holy Savior Menard head coach Justin Charles that will get that. And we certainly appreciate the folks at BK Distributors back in Pineville that put the trophy and the plaques together for us, and we look forward to anything that you need, your trophy needs or plaque needs or banner needs. Reach out to BK Distributors back in Pineville.
Again, congratulations to everyone involved here. It has been a memorable event here at Southeastern Louisiana University. And again, the final here tonight, it is the East All-Stars and the West All-Stars putting on a classic battle here, but it is the West comes out with the victory, 23-20 over the East. 23-20 over the East.
Yeah, by far, this game gets better and better every year that we've done it. This is 3. It's been around for 4 years. Last year, of course, wiped out due to COVID. You see everything being around and the great camera work. I want to thank the Flying Ghost people for putting on a great broadcast on here, and just honored to be a part of the things that they have going on there. They've joined up with us at 446 Sports, the folks at BWS Sports, which is Will Norris and that group from the west side of Louisiana, and we've all joined up with Gridiron Football. I'm telling you, 2022 is going to change the way that high school sports, altogether, not just football, but high school sports are brought to you in Louisiana, and it's truly a godsend, and we thank him for what we're doing.
Good scene there at midfield and right there in the heart of the Lion as you see coaches from both sides, as well as Marcus Randall and Andy Bryson and everyone else. What a great exhibition. What a great night here for Gridiron Football. We'll see you next year when we will finish the calendar year of 2022 like we finished it here in 2021 with the Gridiron Football All-Star Bowl game. Again, thanks for watching, and we hope that you'll continue to spread the word about Gridiron Football and what it does for high school sports across the great state of Louisiana and across the South. Thank you for watching. Good night, everybody.